Good evening, race fans, and welcome to a fantastic weekend of racing on G-Force TV. The fans are lined up to get in. It's going to be a whale of a show.
For the honor, for the glory, horsepower and steel unite. These are the Knights of Thunder. This season, the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series will conquer dirt tracks across the land. On every battlefield, there is a winner. To the bravest and the fastest go all the spoils. See the heroics, feel the power, hear the thunder. The Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. Let the battle begin.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Humberstone Speedway, the Pinty's All-Canadian Weekend. The long-awaited return to racing at Humberstone Speedway is here with 3 nights of action on this exciting, this is where we'd normally say third mile, quarter mile. We're not quite sure because this is a new layout. We have yet to see where the drivers are going to run on the track. Obviously, we're outside at the familiar building on the front straightaway of Humberstone Speedway. Everything you're about to see is going to be brand new, thanks to Terry Vince, who's taken over the racetrack and made some amazing improvements. Lots of exciting racing on hand tonight. I'm Adam Ross. Joining me will be Rob Lettingham up in the booth. Clinton Jeffrey is going to be trackside, and it's going to be some phenomenal racing here with Pinty's All-Canadian Weekend.
Well, the big story here is this right here, this guardrail in turn number 1. It's never been here in all the years of Humberstone Speedway's existence. Well, it's going to change things for the better tonight or the worse. We don't know. We have lost a lane off the bottom, but this is where the water used to pool. It was always a soupy wet spot here, and that was a big problem for a lot of these teams. So it is going to change how the way these veterans drive the track. We've got full classes of cars here tonight with the mini stock, street stocks, and the 2 classes of sprint cars. It's going to be an action-packed night, and you bet this is going to be the spot to watch tonight. I'm anxious to see what the drivers have to say about turn 1 here this evening.
On the other side of the break, it's time to go racing. We'll be right back on G-Force TV.
That's too many S's for my Spanish accent. Welcome to our online client. I don't know why I keep saying online. Only 2 more to go. Hey guys, this is Jose here at Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC. Welcome to our first episode of our Car Care series. With fall season fast approaching, you'll want to prep for driving in the winter conditions. This episode, we're going to be talking about winter tires. So a couple of the things you want to consider when choosing winter tires is just to know your driving habits, what type of driving you're going to be doing, city driving versus highway driving. Also, a really helpful thing to know is your tire size. So winter tires are built differently than all-season tires. They are made from a softer compound, which allows for better control and improved stopping. So as you can see behind me, we do have a massive inventory of tires, and we do offer a price match guarantee. So please come see our experts here at Queenston Chevrolet. Okay guys, this wraps up our first episode of our Car Care series. If you have any questions or if you'd like to book a service appointment for your tire change, please call 905-528-7001, or you can also book online at queenstonchev.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
It is a beautiful night to be a race fan here at Humberstone Speedway. Folks, I'm Adam Ross. Joining me tonight, Clinton Jeffrey is trackside up in the booth. A couple of special guests, Rob Lettingham, and the new voice of Humberstone Speedway, Steve Zabo. Thank you for being here, Rob. Gordon in the 48, and Zach Bleach rounds out the field in the 108. That's how they'll get started. Chris Hale off to a great start. Hale leading the way over Rayston Jason Fontaine in the second spot. No home track advantage right now. This is a new layout for these drivers. We see Donnie Lampman out there. Hands full of steering wheel through 1 and 2. That allowed Mike Plazinga to get up the inside. Todd Gordon driving that blue number 48 machine. This field strung out with Chris Hale getting away from Jason Fontaine in the 1. Fontaine's about to have company with Wade Purchase in that 53 machine, but from second all the way back to about 7th spot, they are nose to tail, working their way through 3 and 4. Now, Rob Lettingham, you've got a bunch of laps here at this racetrack. To my rookie eye, I see turn 4 as a big change for these drivers. From your vantage point, has everything changed? What's the biggest deal for these racers?
Well, first of all, they graded this track and dug it down to a different depth where it has moisture. Degrees different, the guardrail's different. It's a whole different configuration, so everybody's on the same plane.
So that is a great scientific answer. Now I want the Rob Lettingham race car driver. You put your helmet on, you pull onto the racetrack. What's your oh no moment when you look at this place and think, okay, this is my opportunity, this is what I'm going to worry about tonight?
Well, I think a lot of people, and not myself, but a lot of people worry about the guardrail and what it looks like. But it's a guideline to get everybody around, so it keeps everybody honest. But I can tell you, I've been on it, and it's fast.
Oh, it looks fabulous. 2 laps to go in this qualifying heat. It's still Hale out front. Fontaine still the runner-up. We are under yellow. We've got one around in turn number 2. That's Tom Pearson in the 30 machine. You know, with some of the conversation initially from drivers saying, boy, it's awful narrow now. But I'd like to remind people, Cornwall Speedway, for example, is much narrower and one of the most exciting places. Sometimes more racing room doesn't give you better racing or even less treacherous racing. I like this layout. I think it's going to keep the drivers up on the wheel and be fun to watch.
I think once it gets in and it's a 2-lane racetrack, you're going to see some real good racing here.
Back to green we go. Out in front, as we said, Christopher Hale, the driver from Guelph, Ontario, with the Fonz behind him. Jason Fontaine having a look to the inside, down in 1 and 2, kicks that car sideways in the turn. Side by side, they battle for 4th. That's Mike Plazinga on the outside in that 93K. Donnie Lampman, second generation racer whose father's car looks way too similar to his. Oh, Fontaine sailed it down into the corner. Wade Purchase looked to the outside. The inside opened up, and Mike Plazinga drives up the bottom. Checkered flag gonna wave. Write this down in the history books. The first checkered flag of the new layout Humberstone Speedway goes to Christopher Hale. Jason Fontaine second, then it's Mike Plazinga third, Wade Purchase fourth, Donnie Lampman fifth. Zach Bleach, Todd Gordon, Robbie General, and Tom Pearson. Steve, we'll get you in here a little bit. I know tonight you're sort of shadowing, checking out how things go. My sound disappeared for a minute. Sorry, folks. I developed a stuttering problem at the very same time. The sound disappeared there for a second. But great to have you in the booth. You're not new to racing, but you're new to this gig.
Yeah, I'm not new to racing. I've been coming here since I was 15. I started selling programs here a long time ago. So it's not new to me, but it's new to me to be here in the booth, and I'm actually absolutely delighted to be a part of it.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. Sorry, folks, a little bit of technical trouble with the microphone that Steve's wearing. On the pole in this one is the 25 machine of Kenny Sargent. Outside of row number 1, it's Jeff Larmont in the 601. Mike Thorne in the 55. Craig Hanley in the 26. The 37J is Jeff Bean. The 24 is Blake Bomberry Jr. Scott Dunn drives the 65. And Barry Beck Jr. in the 01. They're about to go green.
Can you hear me out here?
The sprint cars are really going to blow the track off and give us a nice wide racing surface, Rob. What are you seeing right now as someone who's spent some time prepping this racetrack?
Well, I see the track coming in. When it's a new surface again, it's hard to blow the dust off, so it needs some wheels out there, and we're going to have a good night.
You'll see the Packer trucks they use for these dirt tracks. They'll have 4 or 5 trucks out there, obviously with 4 tires on them. It's nothing like a field of 20 sprint cars or 20 street stocks out there to really get the job done. Kenny Sargent out front by about 12 car lengths as we reach the halfway point of this one. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 laps to go. My eyes never have worked all that well. Great battle for the second spot. Mike Thorne in the Burger Barn, number 55. Jeff Larmont in the 601. Craig Hanley in the 26. A 3-car battle for that runner-up spot. Then a bit of a gap back to the Barry Beck machine. Of course, Beck started shotgun on the field as we've got one doing donuts. That's Bean in the 37. Able to keep that car rolling. No need for a yellow. Checkered flag instead. Kenny Sargent takes the win. Mike Thorne second. Then it's Larmont, Hanley, Barry Beck, Blake Bomberry, and Jeff Bean rounding out the field. Now, I sat at Sunset Speedway last week with Blake Bomberry, and he said they're fitting his dad up to come back racing. So, I wonder if it's possible that's Blake Bomberry Sr. in the 24. We'll have to double check on that. Clinton is on the move. He is everywhere, so that'll be one of the missions he can work on tonight. Third and final heat race for the street stock division. Here's how they're going to line up. From Kaser Center on the pole in the number 28, it's Jim Lampman. Alongside him from Hagersville, the 3B is Devin Bacher. Second row on the inside from Harley, the 37 is Rob Hoskins. Alongside him from Belleville, the 03 is Justin Ramsey. The 49 from Hagersville, that's Dave Bailey. And the 11 machine out of Thorold, that's Go Fast Teeple. Brian General drives the 13.5, and it's Bryce Richardson from Port Colborne in the 11R. That is your lineup for this third street stock qualifying heat.
second heat, 65. You were in the second heat, not the third heat when I get into this. Okay, 65 to the pits. You were in the second heat on this one.
So working out drivers that were supposed to be out here in the second heat, and I believe they're referring to Scott Dunn in that 65 machine. We'll see if race director Doug Leonard decides that he'll let him compete in this qualifier, or if he's going to have to go to the pits and try to make it into the show through the Consi. Beautiful night here for racing once again. Just fantastic weather to open things back up. Welcome to the fans who have shown up in great numbers to support Terry Vince and the team. It takes a big team to make the improvements that Terry Vince has made. Of course, the track sat closed for quite some time. This is the first racing action it's seen all season long, and boy, oh boy, anybody who's visited Humberstone Speedway in the last couple of decades can see that obviously a lot of work has gone into the overall appearance, and hats off to Terry. Let's go racing.
Well, Lampman will take it off into one, Adam. Bacher getting a tag in the back end of Lampman there, and they get together. Working now almost 3 wide down the back straightaway as they battle for third, 3 deep, Bailey on the inside.
Talking to some of the drivers beforehand as Go Fast Tebow goes around, and boy, oh boy, he gets collected pretty hard by the 17 machine.
And Jeff Humphreys there with problems, but the nose looks all right. But you see Tebow's got the bumper missing in turn number 3 here, and we'll get up there and take a look at that. Bumper has gone away from the car, Adam, so if he drives over, he might have some problems. If he knows, he might try and back up here.
And wisely, Deeple is waiting there, and I'm not sure if he's waiting for the crew to show up and tell him what the damage is, because like you say, Clinton, if he drives forward, he's liable to cut a tire. We're having a replay for those watching from home, and this will be a great view going down the back straightaway. He was all by himself. He sailed it in pretty deep, made some contact with Devin Bacher. Rob, how many times has this been you, that the 2 cars right behind you, if you have an incident, they see what's happening and they fan out, and it's the third one to the party that wham, nowhere to go?
Absolutely. Sometimes some of these cars are really hard to see through, and when that stuff goes down in front of you, it's like, uh-oh.
Is it worse being the car sitting there parked sideways, or is it worse when the seas part and you know there's nowhere to go?
I think it's worse sitting there, because I've been there, and it's like it's coming.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because you got into a lot of wrecks, but for someone who raced for 5 decades or so.
I thought we were friends.
We are. That's why I'm talking about your storied and long, long history.
Yeah. All my dad, all my uncles have been here. I raced here, my son, so there's been 3 generations. Actually, my dad and uncle were here when this place opened.
And you're here when it reopens for the big weekend.
How awesome is that? I'm so happy to be here. You know what, with COVID and everything, it is so nice to see your friends, the race cars, at the racetrack. We're having a ball. I'm living the dream, buddy.
Well, Adam, down here in turn number 3, we watched the cleanup of the Teeple 11 car. He has lost the front bumper, and for some reason he's going to need a tow back, so it makes me wonder what else is wrong with the car here for Teeple. We'll keep showing you the shop. We'll try and get over here and have a word with them.
The plaid paint scheme for...
Teeple. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, go
But
for it.
Teeple, why are you out of this one? You lost the bumper. Why are they towing you in? He don't want to talk, so we'll give it up for Teeple.
He went in there with a big head of steam on that right front. Or sorry, he got hit on, I believe, the right front. So quite possible the steering wheel is not pointed the same direction that it was. Or maybe he's just taking his ball and going home, Clinton. He knows they'll give him a ride back. Clinton Jeffrey right on the scene down there, keeping us up close and personal to the action. And yeah, you don't see very many. Would we call that plaid? What is that Almost every couch that was sold in the 1970s, I think, had that same pattern on it, and I don't know what it was called.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's my wife's favorite car, probably.
Well, it's catchy, but his luck has not been fabulous in the couple of races that I've caught this season. And you know what racers are like. Like, if you have a couple of bad nights and you put a different color on the car, you're pulling out the spray bomb for the next week, and you're like, it is being gutted.
Absolutely.
All right, next time, Bob, we're going to go back to green with Lampman on the inside. So this is the father, Jim Lampman, of Donnie Lampman and the other 28 machine. Outside of him will be Rob Hoskins in the 37, then a couple of the hottest drivers in street stock racing, Dave Bailey on the inside, Justin Ramsey up on the outside in that 03, all the way from Belleville. Green flag flies, Jim sends it down into the corner, and he drove it deep, and that got Rob Hoskins out of his way, but it opened the door, Clint, for Dave Bailey.
Bailey will fill that gap with ease as he's a multi-time champ here. Justin Ramsey, the best of Brighton, up here tonight, and he's one of them here in that 03 car, getting ready to go for Sunday's big payout here for the Thunderstocks.
Talking to Jim Lampman before the race, his concern was being on the outside coming off of turn number 4, racing hard for position, and sure enough, that's exactly the position he found himself in. Plenty of room for these drivers, especially with fenders on the cars. Once we get the open wheel cars out here, we'll see how the track skinnies up and how these drivers handle it. What a battle, what a drive for Devin Bacher in that 3B. There's a young man who's come a long way.
Yeah, Devin's been really working up. His dad, Brad, was a champion of many years at Humberstone Speedway. And now Devin, he's about 4 years into it now, I think, and he's running pretty good there. But Lampman having a go at it with the 37 of Hoskins, but back to 3, it's still Bailey and Ramsey, 2 of the best in the province going at it.
Bailey not pulling away from Justin Ramsey. He made that pass, took the lead. Ramsey followed him through, and then he's been hanging off about a car length and a half behind Bailey the rest of the race. And there's 2 different driving styles. Dave Bailey likes to keep that car as straight as he possibly can. Behind him, Justin Ramsey is sailing it into the corner a little bit deeper, so he's using up more real estate.
Yeah, Ramsey tried something there on the 4, it did not work. He fades back to about a 3.5 length disadvantage to the leader, Dave Bailey. Bacher, though, solidly in position number 3, and Lampman struggling up on the outside there, Adam. I'm not sure why he doesn't like the outside, maybe because the car don't like the outside.
Oh, and you might be absolutely right, as we've got one more lap. Bailey extending his lead. I'd say Rob Hoskins, the question now, can he close in on Lampman and make a last lap pass to take over that 4th spot?
Bacher fades up to the top side and dances with that edge in 2, but it won't bite him yet. Bailey comes around and he will grab the checkered flag here in the qualifying race for the Thunderstocks, ahead of Justin Ramsey, Brad Bacher, Jim Lampman, and Rob Hoskins will be the top 5 to round out this qualifier.
Coming around to close things out, Brian General in the 13.5. There's a question. If 13 is traditionally bad luck in racing, does the 0.5 take that away, Rob? Like, is that okay if you put a 0.5 at the end? It's not bad luck anymore?
I don't really know. I can't count past 10, buddy.
Yes, he shows me his fingers. And you're a financial planner?
Not today.
No, fair enough. So during the week, you can count past 10. Rob Ludding.
It's all right, Rob. Adam's a racetrack announcer during the day, too, but not on the weekends.
Oh, listen to this. So Greg Callan, for those of you who don't know, he won a vacation. Well, he didn't win it. He earned it by the local ice cream shop. Sent him away for a week, fully paid.
Wait a minute. Are you serious? Greg won a vacation for eating ice cream?
Have you seen how much ice cream he eats?
Yeah, but
is he here
you're
tonight?
Not even telling a fib.
Is he here tonight?
No, but I didn't.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't. I'm not shocked. I'm just surprised.
There
if
you
that
go.
makes any sense.
We're pretty happy for him.
Action Sprint Tour crate sprints out. If you're wondering what the difference is between these and their bigger brothers we're going to see tonight, these are the same engines with a couple of small adjustments to them that the Thunderstocks run. So smaller motors, more affordable. They run about 10 grand for a new motor in these cars, and some of the Stars cars are about 50, 60,000 US. So quite the difference, Adam. Give us the lineup for qualifying race number 1 for the Action Sprint Tour.
I will so. On the pole out of Rockwood in the 94, it's Ryan Fraser on the outside. Row number 1 from Thamesford. The 7 is Eric Gledhill. Row 2 on the inside, car number 56 out of Hamilton is Derek Lemaire. Alongside him is his teammate. Both of them race for Burger Barn. Out of Grantford, the 48 is Lance Erskine. Driving the number 45 from Mount Bridges, it's Nick Sheridan. Alongside him from Six Nations, the 38 is Derek Miller. Row number 4 on the inside, the 45L is Curtis Gartley from Thamesford. Alongside him, from Font Hill, the 08 is Stephen Beckett. That's how they're going to line up. Clinton Jeffrey, take this away.
Getting ready to go. First qualifying race for the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour here at Humberstone in 2021, and we're on it. Fraser will lead them off to turn 1, but the battle will go to the 7 here on the outside.
Great start for Gledhill in the 7. Fraser getting a better run off of turn 2. Derek Lemaire right there as well. Erskine didn't get the greatest start, trying to close that gap off of 4.
Gledhill with the lead. Lemaire will hold on to position number 2 in the Burger Bar machine. Now Ryan Fraser, recent newcomer to dirt, has about half a season under his belt in the 94 out of the Can-Am Midgets, who we'll see tomorrow in our other broadcast with the APC Series. But up front, Derek Lemaire makes a big, bold move, and he'll have to elbow his way up in front of Gledhill. They get together into one, but they both make it out alive.
I'll tell you, the driver I'm watching, that orange number 45 of Curtis Gartley, 3 and 4, the car works decent, but from turn 1 to the back straightaway, he is making more gains than anybody else.
Hey, looked to have a good run off of 4 there, but had to bite the brake. Curtis Gartley in that 45. 5-pond machine, came out of 360s, jumped back into crates and found a good home here as Derek Lemaire, the veteran here in the Petro Plus 56 Burger Bar car, leads the Oakwood Transport 7 here of Eric Gledhill.
Nick Sheridan having troubles in 3 and 4. He did a full 360 last time through turn number 4. He is nearly a full lap behind our race leader, Derek Lemaire. Now let's see if Curtis Gartley can close in on Gledhill, as we've got one in trouble. That is Ryan Turner in the 94.
Fraser up here with problems.
He doesn't have his glasses on.
Well, you know what? That's another big family of racers, the Fraser family related to the Westwood family. Not that it's an excuse for me being wrong, but thank you, Steve. Steve tries to they're reading glasses. They're not going to help me from the French. Well, they would help me from the screen.
Absolutely.
Right in front of my eyes. So we apologize for the microphone challenges. We'll try to get Steve's mic sorted out here so he can participate as the night goes on. But Clint, what do you say? Clint's still over there in the middle of the infield as Ryan Fraser getting a push.
I think it just jumped out of gear at him. You know, he just pulled up to the side, asked for a push back. Now he's telling him to push him in. And we'll see what happens here to Fraser. And we just mentioned, you know, he came out of the Can-Am Midgets, newcomer to the dirt here, about a season and a half in, and we're not sure what's up with Fraser, but looks like he is going to head right back to the pits, Adam. So that will be the end of it. New thing here, Doug Leonard reminded everybody in the driver's meeting too, they're asking all the drivers to go off of turn number 1 and keep that upper lip in turn 2, because that's been a long bit of talking. Maybe Rob can touch upon that. Rob, over years we used to go into the pits off of turn 2, and the feeling was that right where you need that cushion on the top of 2, it got kind of pounded down. So they're asking to go in 1. What do you make of that, Rob?
I absolutely agree with you. The problem is when they run down the cushion like that, you can have the car set, get 3/4 of the way through the corner, and you got a big slick spot. So it'll keep the berm going all the way around, we hope, because we want to have a berm tonight.
For sure. Here we go. Derek Lemaire back on the loud pedal. Doug Leonard wasting no time. They get by the Weldscar Fabrication restart cone, and we're off to 1. And look at Derek Miller, Adam. He won the B main at Maryville, getting his program together, and he looked good going around the outside of Erskine and Sheridan.
Derek Miller doing a nice job there, working into the top 5. Curtis Gartley looking for racing room under Gledhill. He gets a bit of a push going down into 1. Stephen Beckett right up on his tail, and Derek Martin gives away those spots he worked so hard to gain.
So it is Lemaire with a big lead out front of the Gledhill 7. 45 of Curtis Gartley trying to hold off the veteran Stephen Beckett, who jumped into the crates in the early years and now finds himself one of the longtime competitors here in that 08 car.
Checkered flag in the air. Derek Lemaire takes the win in the Burger Barn Petro Plus 56. We got trouble there in turn number 4. 1 car around backwards.
It's the 45 of Nick Sheridan, Adam, and you know, as you mentioned, Nick's been struggling here tonight. And not what we normally see out of Nick. We saw him get the call up to the Steyrs ride that Matt Williamson is going to drive tonight. Kevin Loveys and Glenn Steyrs have been trying out a few different pilots behind the wheel of the Zero car. Nick here, who we see in turn number 3 and 4 in the red and black 45, was our 14-year-old crate champion the last year Oshweekend ran in 2019. Came in as a 14-year-old rookie and won the championship. Great future ahead for Nick, and we mentioned our show tomorrow, that we'll be doing live on G-Force. Everybody else will be here at Humberstone, but we'll be at the APC race, and young Nick will be changing right front tires for his brother Jake Sheridan in the APC Late Model Series. So we'll follow this story. Great racing family. Father Ron, of course, a veteran of the Cast Car division, and storied history. We're happy to have him here with the Action Sprint Tour.
They drive fast, they talk fast, they are a racing family for sure. As the Pride Seeds number 45 gets pushed off there in turn 4, he'll drive it back to the pit area. That'll make way for heat race number 3.
And you know Nick's not going to be happy about how that one ended for him, but we'll watch how it plays out here. He will definitely be headed for the B main, and a long way to go for young Nick. Passing points are in effect here also, ladies and gentlemen, for the sprint cars, meaning it's a calculation on where you start to where you finish, and if you're going forward, you're going to be in a better spot for the feature than you would be if you were being passed. And here comes the next round out for the Action Sprint Tour.
Heat race number 3, we've got 4 heats on tap tonight. Here's how they're going to line up. On the pole out of Hamilton, the MS Road Solutions DJD Graphics 12 Double D is Darren Dryden. Outside row 1 from Beachville, the Castrol Edge. To Groot Hill Chevrolet, number 5 is TJ Christie. Starting third from Oshweekend, the JR's Riverside Bait and Tackle, number 77T is Tyler Powless. Alongside him from Thamesford, the Oakwood Transport AV Utility 14 of Larry Gledhill. Row 3 on the inside from Port Colborne in the Maverick Real Estate Dow Auto 5D is Jacob Dykstra. And I am giving the lineup for Heat 3, and this is Heat 2 on the racetrack. But man, things were going so well. Jeff, you're going to have to throw things at me because I can't hear worth a crap. So throw rocks when I start doing dumb things.
Jeff, you could tell me, I can give him one.
Let's give you this lineup instead. On the pole in the 7-Star Express line, number 26X out of Ancaster is Terry Baker. Alongside him from Brantford, the National Building Group, 49L of Lucas Smith. Row 2 on the inside from Bowmanville is the 31 of Dale Curran. Alongside him in the 69 out of Oshweekend, Joshua Hill. Row 3 inside from Port Perry, the Town Line, MFG Brass Inc. 4B of Darrell Peltier. Starting 6th from St. Thomas, the Oakwood Transport Wells Foundry, number 4 is Jesse Costa. Starting 7th from Waynefleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing Castle Plumbing, BS 39 is Brett Stratford, and the number 20 from Six Nations, Styes Tree Service and Ram Dynamics 20 is Johnny Miller. That's what I get for looking at my screen instead of looking out the giant glass window in front of us.
Here we go. Terry Baker gets the jump here on the 49L of Lucas Smith, who will be driving that Zero car we just talked about tomorrow night, as Matt will be back behind the wheel of the modified. Here comes Stratford on the bottom. He's already picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, and working on Jesse Costa.
Stratford working that guardrail. He'll get around Jesse Costa, set his sights on the 31 machine.
Stratford was here at the open test they had on Wednesday, and it's working out for him here. Felt great after the run at Maryville. Now he'll chase down another newcomer, Dale Curran. 16-year-old Dale Curran in the 31.
Stratford running the inside beautifully, but we've got a pass at the front. Lucas Smith around the inside of Terry Baker. Baker back to second. They've got half a straightaway over Brett Stratford, who's just gotten around Curran, and rounding out the top 5 is Jesse Costa in that number 4.
Wow, Brett Stratford going to need a big basket to carry home all the passing points he just picked up in this one. Lucas Smith will be on the move too. He will be one guy to watch here tonight. Terry Baker also had a solid run at Merrittville, so the top 3 guys in this one are going to be 3 of the guys to watch here tonight.
Terry Baker ran so well at Merrittville, Clinton. I thought he might have put Mike Bowman in the car like he had last year, but he's looking great this season, having a good second place run. Lucas Smith, since taking the lead, has pulled out a few car lengths, but he is not driving away from the 26X.
Yeah, Baker was only mildly upset with you. No, Lucas jumps the cushion, nearly puts it in the fence, nearly gets into Baker and has to back out of it, and they make it through turn 1.
That was a ballsy move by Lucas Smith to come all the way back across the racetrack. Terry Baker wisely and politely backed out of it. He'll settle for that second spot at the white flag because he had a big head of steam.
Now one more to go for Lucas Smith. One of the up-and-coming guys. You're going to have to watch out for him. Certainly going to be a threat on the tour this year. Finished second to Jacob Dykstra at Merrittville after walking through the field. Checkers out for Lucas Smith, Terry Baker, and Brett Stratford. I believe all of them will be headed for the redraw. We'll have to watch how it plays out for Dale Kerr and Jesse Costa, the Iceman Johnny Miller, Hill, and the B at the back. We are almost out of this one, and that'll do it for another round of Action Sprint Tour qualifying.
And that was heat race number 2.
Daryl Pelche at the back in the 4B. And with Oshweekin being closed, these guys, this is their only chance to get out and run these crates. Is out with the Action Sprint Tour this year. I want to thank everybody from Pinty's for the support, get behind it, and all our other great sponsors who help us get to the track, of course. And want to welcome everybody here live and watching at home on GeForce TV.
And folks, if you're here live, we strongly recommend grab your phones, GeForceTV.net. Go on YouTube, search up GeForce TV. We got a great camera crew here tonight, so quite often we have 1, 2, 3 different vantage points for these replays. So if you see it and you want a better look, maybe you're looking the other way and you missed it, tune into GeForce TV. Even if you're in the grandstands, you might just enjoy it. Heat race number 3, here's how they're going to line up.
Did you not already announce these guys?
I did. They're getting twice as much coverage tonight. Thankfully, my neighbors here in the booth were able to set me straight by the time I got to the 4th row out of 4. So Darren Dryden on the pole in the 12 Double D. Alongside him is DJ Christie in that 5 car. The 77T is Tyler Powless. The 14 is Larry Gledhill. Jacob Dykstra drives the 5D and Adrian Staley in the 50 LS from Kitchener. Rounding out the field from Oshweekin, the Canada Fuels Nitro 54 Variety number 9C is Brian Nanicoke. And from Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement sponsored number 51, our school teacher, Trevor Young.
Darren Dryden will be the pole sitter. He'll get lined up on the inside of the row going into turn number 1 outside. DJ Christie, another second generation driver. Dad Jay spent a lot of time in the late miles. And look at that, Adam, a bit of head games there. Dryden running him up a bit high on the pace lap here. Not hugging down the rail. Maybe Dryden showing a bit of foreshadowing on where he plans to put that 12 when the green drops.
Yeah, we've talked about this over time, Clinton. It's fascinating how many champions, and I can't see this start
No,
going.
there's no way. The white flag is up, and DJ Christie just stood on it, and I can see Doug Leonard in the tower going, that ain't gonna work.
But there's so many champions in this division. Like, just at quick glance, without having to ask, I can see Brian Nanicoke, Adrian Staley, Jacob Dykstra, Darren Dryden, and DJ Christie have all been champions. And that's not saying that Larry Gledhill and Tyler Powless haven't been. I'm just not sure.
Larry Gledhill out there in the 14, a 62-year-old rookie playing with the youngsters here tonight. Tyler Powless nearly gets around. He pulls it back in. Trevor Young at the back battles with the burn. But up front will be Darren Dryden off of turn 4. Clean and smooth up to the outside.
Jacob Dykstra with a big move to the inside of DJ Christie through turns 3 and 4. Move Dykstra up to that second spot. Gledhill gets up off the bottom. That opens the door for Adrian Staley.
Dykstra trying to find a move, and he'll get the bottom here. And that may be all she wrote for Darren Dryden. You can't give up the bottom to Dykstra. He knows his quick way around, and now Dryden will point the nose of the 12 to the bottom, but to no avail as Dykstra drives off towards the sunset.
Much like when we saw Dave Bailey and Justin Ramsey, Jacob Dykstra just running a very efficient, smooth line around the bottom of the racetrack. That line will be there all night long, just not sure it's going to be that quick as the cars keep pounding on that inside groove. But time will tell what the track does, Clint.
Dryden with trouble on the outside. Christie running a smooth line in 3. Gledhill steps off the backside of 4. But up front, it's still all Jacob Dykstra with a half a straightaway advantage out front of Darren Dryden, who holds the same margin back to DJ Christie.
Trevor Young's picked up a couple of spots just by keeping it on the track, running a steady pace. Not in the top 5, but he's moved up to 6th spot from the very tail of the field as Jacob Dykstra coming off of turn number 4 to see 2 laps to go.
Dykstra making this one look easy. Everybody in the single file formation. Best battle right now is Nanacoke and the 50 of Adrian Staley. Battling for 4th down the back straightaway. Dykstra takes the white flag.
One more time around as Dykstra approaches slower traffic. Staley racing the inside of Brian Nanacoke down into turn 1 side by side.
Dykstra will grab the qualifying win. Darren Dryden will finish 2nd. 3rd will be DJ Christie in the number 5. Staley will come across in 4th, and Nanacoke will round out 5th in the 9C. And then it'll be Trevor Young, Larry Gledhill, and Tyler Powis in the 77 at the back of this one. That'll wrap up qualifying heat number 3. One more to go here for the Action Sprint Tour. This new push-off area in turn 2, Adam, they've been working on here to get the guys going. They'll wait for the crews or the cars to move by, and then they'll push off and get these cars going. And it certainly helps speed up the show here a little bit anyways.
Yeah, every little bit helps, Clinton. I think it's fantastic when they can push the cars off away from the racetrack. Things just happen quicker. You don't have to put crew members on the racetrack like you would normally, even though they're driving quads and utility vehicles. It just, it's a big old cluster. That's the technical term for it.
We brought in a lot of push trucks here tonight. We've got about 55 sprint cars in the house tonight, which is awesome in both classes. Good to see them strong and healthy.
Here's how they're going to line up for heat race number 4. On the pole from Springvale, the NRAM Dynamics, Tim Tires, number 14T, is Noelle Teal. Alongside her from Oshwegan, the Nitro 54 variety, MK8 is Matthew Hill. Row 2 on the inside from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanics Inc. ILA Sports 19D is Alan Downey, and to his outside from Brampton, the Lifto Limited Toyota Industry Equipment, number 70MM of Dave McKnight. Row number 3 on the inside from Mossley, the CarStar Brantford. Bobcat of Brantford, number 3S is Austin Rose. To his outside from Bloomfield, the Terry's Taxi. Elbrook Excavating 84 is Dan Ferguson. Rounding out the field from Rockwood, the Radio Shuttle. Neely Auto, number 74, it's Rob Neely. 4 qualifying heats in these crate sprint cars. Rob, you've been around to see some new divisions pop up in the progression of racing. When the crate sprint division was introduced so many years ago, did you ever see it ballooning like it has?
You know, every time you start a new class, you never know, right? I haven't seen a class take off like this in my life. It's great. It's a cheaper way to be racing here. I mean, let's face it, there's never any cheap racing.
You know, instead of cheap, let's say
Less expensive.
it's more cost effective, but it's more reliable. When you try to put a big horsepower engine together, you have to take a certain degree of risk to make the speed.
Absolutely.
If there was no risk, everybody would go the same speed. So these great engines put out a consistent horsepower. We rarely see engine failures in these race cars.
And I believe, do they not have a gear rule with these guys?
They do so.
Makes it so much nicer for everyone.
The race is on, and Noelle Teal going to lead lap number 1. A nice lap for that young lady. Alan Downey stalking the race leader, running in the 2nd spot.
It was an ugly start, Adam, but it looked like Matt Hill stumbled. Noah Teal fired at the right time, and now you got Alan Downey working over the backside. Here comes Matt Hill trying to put that Nitro 54-8 MK up on the outside. Watch, he's definitely making a dance up top.
You know what? The Hills have had moments of greatness in this great sprint car division over their years, Clinton, and he's looking good up there on the outside, as good as we've seen anybody coming through traffic there. But Noelle Teal, again, another driver who didn't set the world on fire when she came out and started in the crate sprint class, but she's paid her dues, and she's holding a pretty wheel right now. Yeah,
Noelle comes out of the micro sprint ranks, the Outlaw carts, and has run very well in her 3 or 4 seasons behind the wheel. I guess this would be season number 3 for Noelle, I believe. Taking up the COVID years in the middle. Still Matt Hill hanging around like a bad rash back there in 3rd. But look at Alan Downey feature winner now. He knows how to get to victory lane, and he's pushing on the back end of the 14.
Oh, what he won't do is step up to the outside, so he keeps trying to set that move up to the bottom. And you know, it's got to look appealing, but at some point you'd think he'd try to go up and sail the outside. Maybe he's not, because once he goes to the middle of the track, it looks like all the grip disappears on him.
Well, down the straightaway there, he definitely diamond the front stretch a bit, but back down to the rail in 2. And you know, if you don't let him get under you in 2, and they haven't seen him yet, maybe he will be content to run second, but he gets a line here. But Noel, perfect off the bottom once again to the white flag. He goes for it on the top. Here goes Downey up to the outside.
Noel Teal holding him off through 1 and 2. He looks to the high side. He's having a look there again as they race down towards turn number 3. Teal holding on to the bottom. Alan Downey to the outside.
Alan Downey will head game his way to that win over Noel Teal and Matt Hill, who holds on to a strong third place run. And what I mean by that, Adam, is Downey got around the nose and just kind of barked it down on her, and she had no choice but to lift. And Alan Downey will grab the qualifying heat race win ahead of Noel Teal and Matt Hill. And that will wrap up qualifying heat races for the Action Sprint Tour crate-powered sprint cars. I believe we got the mini stocks coming up next.
Great job by Noel Teal, even losing the lead on the last lap. I'm sure it'll be disappointing to her, but that was a nice drive by a young lady who has worked pretty hard.
Very hard.
You start up. Driving race cars is not easy, and the trouble with someone who's a good race car driver, Rob, is they make it look easy. And that makes it even more frustrating because you start working harder in the car. How often do you go faster when you work hard or you do more aggressive things?
If you're working hard, you're not fast, buddy.
That's it. Smooth is fast, and she was real smooth that race, so let's see what she can do in tonight's feature event. A nice job by Noel Teal. Mini stocks. On the pole in the 222, it's Nick Massey in that black number 222. Alongside him from Smithville, the 44B, is Leroy Buscombe. From Port Colborne, the 71C, is Ray Sorrenzia. Alongside him from Port Colborne, the 14L, is John Lubeck. Driving the number 19 from Welland, it's Hannah Rothwell alongside Hannah. From Hamilton, the 91, is Oliver LaRocque. Rounding out the field from Waterford, the 46 is Wade Thorne. If I'm not mistaken, Wade Thorne and that crew towed up to Sauble Beach on Wednesday night to run their midweek special there. That's why they were too busy to paint the car, so they're keeping it those 4 colors. And they did some nice outline work on that 46, and what a great start. Thorne up to the 3rd spot, battling for 2nd, right behind Nick Massey.
Massey with the bottom in the 222, the 44 working on the outside. Vlasic up there, and they nearly get 3 wide. Thorne thinks about it down on the rail.
Thorne right along the bottom. Massey comes up off that guardrail by about a car width, just enough for Thorne to drive up alongside. But Massey with a better run off of turn number 2. He'll maintain that lead.
Massey with a strong run off the bottom. Thorne holding on to 2nd and working up on the outside. Hannah Rothwell getting her start here. They've had some problems with that car. Dad Kyle said we're going to get it running and hopefully they can make it through the night here. Had some starter issues and a few other things going wrong, but she's looking good straight out of the go-karts as Nick Massey comes around for another one.
Yeah, Wade Thorne got up off the racetrack in turn number 2 as we reach the halfway point. Now my scoring is calling the 44B Leroy Buscombe. Is that Craig Vlasic, Clint?
You could be right. I see it as the 44, whatever you got it listed as.
Yeah, I think Vlasic is out in a later heat if I'm not mistaken. Although now that I look, I don't see the name.
Massey, though, we do know is leading the 222 with 2 to go. And he will take it off to turn number 2. Thorne, though, right up the back door again. Here comes Thorne to the outside in the 46.
Able to keep the car on the racetrack this time. It handles a lot better when he keeps it on that banking. Let's see how he can drive it down into 3 and 4. So all of these drivers are learning what they can do with these race cars on the new racing surface. And Thorne with a nice run as they reach the white flag.
Last time around, good pack of cars through turns 1 and 2 in the racing. Is great here tonight in the mini stock so far. It's Massey in the 222, trying to hold off Thorne on the outside. Sees him now, pushes up hard. Who's going to get it? Checkers down. Thorne going to get the nose out in front of Massey, I believe, over the 44. That's how they'll finish that one.
Yeah, great finish to that mini stock heat. One more coming across the line here. I believe that's Race Renzi in the 71. That'll do it for heat race number 1. We got one around in turn number 2. And once again, folks, Adam Ross here with Clinton Jeffrey, Rob Lettingham, Steve Zabo, of course, Greg Callan from Brantford. Brantford throws an annual civic holiday parade. The local ice cream shop has built a float in the likeness of Greg Callan. He's actually sitting on the back waving to the children as they go by, so that's why he can't be here tonight. I want to see how many ice cream related stories I can tie Greg Callan to tonight, Clinton, if you're wondering what I'm up to.
You know they're serving ice cream in the courtyard, right?
You know what?
Maybe that's where he is.
It's quite possible. He'll do anything for ice cream.
Next qualifier on the track. Here we go.
Out of Hamilton, the number 5 is Brian Aubie on the pole. Alongside him in the 96 out of Thorold is Tyler LaFontese. Row 2 on the inside. I don't have a hometown and I should know it. The 24 is Rodney Rutherford. Alongside him from Caledonia, the 21X is Mark Bazine. Row 3 on the inside from Waterdown, the 01. Gibbs Action Sports entry of Tristan De Silva. From Powassan, Ontario, the 3A is Kevin Aubie. And from St. Catharines, the 519 is Rob Shaw. One car missing that was in our lineup. So 6 cars going to take the green flag in this mini stock qualifier.
Obey will drop like a stone here in that 5 truck. And LaFontese, or LaFontese, as we've been told it is, will work down the back straightaway. 21X Bazine working there on the backside. 24 to the bottom. Here we go.
Rodney Rutherford in that black and white number 24. He shows up everywhere, driving every different kind of race car.
LaFontese off to turn number 1 and 2 with the advantage here over Rutherford, who was excited to get that car out, was posted on social this week. Behind the 21X, trying to drive up the inside, right up the back bumper here of the Rutherford 24.
Yeah, that Burger Barn machine of Mark Bazine. And how about the Let's Landscape Together Gibbs Action Sports 01 of Tristan De Silva? They sat out last season, Clint. I don't think they raced at all last year because they made a big post about how exciting it was to be going back to the racetrack. Good to see him on track tonight.
For sure. LaFontese trying to hold off Rutherford, who pulls up to the back bumper. You know, these guys are enduro guys too. We've seen Rutherford win all the big enduros around and taking his shot to try and pull down some cash here tonight. But Bazine still hanging around the inside in that Burger Barn 21X on the bottom.
Great three-way battle for the lead as they work off of turn number 4. LaFontese out in front, but side by side now for second. Bazine alongside Rodney Rutherford. He'll try to clear that 24 down into 1 and 2 and maybe even mount a challenge on the leader.
Yeah, Bazine is quick, but hasn't been smooth in this one, but he's still rolling in the second spot. Can he make a move on LaFontese, who is one of the better drivers here for many years? Tyler's been up and down throughout the class. His white flag is out.
Bazine just got all sorts of loose. He's going to have to worry about Rodney Rutherford. How did he get that loose and still wind up just a car length or 2 behind LaFontese in the 96? One last time through 3 and 4.
Well, that's a rear-wheel drive versus a front-wheel drive leading up front. And Tyler will get it done in the 96 with the Twisted Metal Racing crew ahead of Mark Bazine and Rodney Rutherford. De Silva will come across in 4th to wrap up this one.
This is just what we like to see, Clint. Exciting heats, but uneventful heats. You don't see people getting too torn up. You always want to see them racing hard, but if there's going to be a crash, I prefer it to be in the features when they're driving for the money, Rob. The big bucks are on the line.
I'd prefer it never to happen, buddy. I paid a bill on mine.
All those, do you pay the bill on yours?
Absolutely.
All those years driving for other people, didn't you?
Quite a few years I did, but quite a few years on my own as well, too.
Oh, boy. Other people's money is way more fun to spend.
Do you think like your show might be interested to put a sticker on my late model?
We can't.
We love money.
I've got my own money sucker at home. On the pole of this mini stock heat from Niagara Falls, the 44 is Danny Worster. Alongside him from Welland, the 114 is Kyle Rothwell. The 7B is from Beamsville. That's Sean Cuse. Alongside Sean is Jordan Denabriga from Port Colborne in the number 7. From Ancaster, the number 16 is Fabio Oliveri. From Smithville, the 6X is Mike Sarantakos. Rounding out the field in the number 3, it's Courtney Cokeridge. There were no Jones or Smiths in that heat. Like that was one. You got to exercise your mouth before you introduce some of these. or at least I should pre-read them so I know what's coming.
You know what's really good? You got the Heat lineup right this time.
It's the right cars on the track for the names I put with them.
You know why we brought Robin? Because he wouldn't be able to, afraid to throw daggers at you either, Adam.
No, and unfortunately Greg Callan couldn't be here tonight as the annual Brant County Soft Ice Cream Festival. And they put all the best soft ice cream eaters in giant bathtubs and see who can eat their way out.
You do know you're going to have to sit beside him all day tomorrow and take a beating, right?
That's all right.
Greg's by the campfire writing as many jokes as he can right now for tomorrow.
He better brush up. So one car on track that was supposed to be in a different heat, race director Doug Leonard is directing that traffic. The challenge is, if it's a number 3 in the back row, which number 3 in the back? Oh, the white one. Oh, I guess you could call one the truck and one the car.
Got the message.
There we go.
So we get set to go here. White flag should come out this time. Caution lights go off. Once again, I want to welcome everybody watching live on G-Force TV and everybody here live with us at Humberstone Speedway. Just remember, tomorrow, lots of action going on here at Humberstone, and again on Sunday. We will be live from the Sable Beach area tomorrow for our viewers for the APC series. So if you're here at Humberstone, tune into us too.
Absolutely. Too much of a good thing.
It sounds crazy, Adam, but how many people show us their screens? Hey, I'm here and I'm watching this and I'm checking you guys out. We appreciate the support. Here we go. Danny Worster, a longtime veteran here of many four-cylinder divisions, trying to make the move. But Rothwell, the guy to beat here in Niagara at both tracks. That 114 has just been on rails.
Great start for Rothwell. He gets out in front down the back straightaway. But I hope I'm saying this right. Denabriga in that 7 machine is pretty healthy as well, Clint.
For sure. These Volkswagens always run good around here. Rothwell's had this one running excellent for the past 5 or so years at least. And now Oliveri with problems at the back, trying to get underneath the 7, had to get on the brakes, and Worcester's faded back a bit. It's still Rothwell leading the 7, but a great battle here for 3rd.
Yeah, my mistake. Worcester is listed as a 44, but obviously that's a 7 car on the track. Denabriga, I believe, is further back battling with Fabio. Oh, Oliveri, that car just did not turn going into the corner.
And they got together, and we maybe headed over there for a wreck.
Yeah, that was
8 wheels instead of 4.
Yeah, I don't know if Fabio had a problem with his car or if he had a problem with the 7 car. Not sure if we got a replay of that or not, but yeah, they went down into turn 1 and one car did not turn.
We are on our way to the site, so let's see what happens here.
Looks like the exhaust is laying on the ground. That could be an issue. Safety crew on the scene.
What a great job from that stuff too. The safety, it's come such a long way since I started.
The nice thing is,
wow,
safety crews around here wear fire suits. So you get to a scene, you can participate in the accident scene. You know, thankfully we don't see a lot of fires, we don't see a lot of chaos like that. But they're equipped properly that if something does happen, they're ready to jump in. Clinton, what do you see up there?
Yeah, this is the Jordan Denabriga car. You can see the right front has been, the tie rod has broken on the car. So the right front is pulled back and pushed right up inside the fender. So that's the issue here for this 7 car of Denabriga. And you can see, I'm not sure if you guys are picking up that image, but the right front is almost tore right off the car here. So yeah, that contact, and you got to wonder where the damage is. Was that even caused by the contact with Fabio, or was this happening ahead of time, and that's why Fabio got into the back of him?
Wouldn't make sense of how Fabio got into it, but I believe possibly going up and over the banking and making an abrupt stop could have broke that right front. Fabio was on the inside of the 7 machine, so there was no car made contact, at least not going down into turn number 1.
Maybe that's what happened. The right front broke on him going in.
That's what I'm saying, Rob. I got to wonder because, you know, where the damage is on the car, they definitely did not get together there. So
And if Oliveri is just coming out of the pit, so I'm not sure if they changed to right front. So if he didn't have a flat right front, that's what'll happen. You'll go down into the corner, the car just won't turn. So a couple of things happening at the same time there as the cleanup crews are heading off the racetrack.
I got to tell you guys, the track looks amazing. No major holes out here. It is going to slicken up a little bit, but the track crew have done a great job so far. I mean, it's holding up beautifully.
I can't wait for it to slick up. Rob, were you involved, Rob, in the conversation about preparation? Like, are we wanting it to slick over, harden over? What are we hoping for? It's a 3-day show.
I'm an innocent bystander. I want to see black.
That's a lot of rubber.
It makes them work for it, that's for sure.
Cream always comes to the top on a tough track.
You know, Rob, I had a fan actually talk to us today and said, but they're slow. They're slow. Yeah, lap times are a little slower. But I think guys are a little more apt to race harder when they know, not everybody's the hero out there. You got to mind your P's and Q's a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Rothwell will take us back to this one, Adam, and we'll take it around on the backside, and the first two will pull away over a good battle raging for third.
Yeah, Sarantaco's made a big move to the inside. Fabio Oliveri, after changing a tire, I believe, and getting service on that 16 machine, back on track, working his way through the top 5. The outside didn't work. He's going to try the inside.
Yeah, he was like, stay off that tire. I just changed it, man. As the 3 got loose, it's still Rothwell down the back chute with a good margin ahead of the 7 car, and a long way back to the battle for third is Oliveri trying to take a move here under Sarantakis.
Sarantaca's working up the outside of the racetrack. Oliveri, but that car all sorts of sideways on the bottom. 2 laps to go, Clint.
Rothwell making this one look easy, as he has done many times here tonight. They had a bounty on him last Saturday at Maryville, got caught up in an early race jingle, and LaFontaine actually took home the bacon.
Do they even pay the bounty if the other driver doesn't finish, or did he come back and finish?
Oh, he came back and finished, but depending on who you talk to, there was a coup going on because they're teammates, so he let his buddy win so he could take the half, is what they were saying in the stands. I don't buy it. If you know Rothwell, he don't care about the $500. He wants that checkered flag more than anything, and he'll grab one here in the qualifier.
Worcester comes home second. Sarantakos picks up third after Oliveri had a problem coming off of turn number 2 on the last lap. And Kevin Obi, I believe, rounding out that top 5. It is time for more sprint cars, folks. These are the 360 sprints. As Rob mentioned, it takes a bigger budget to run these cars. These are purpose-built, high-performance 360s. Volatile, Rob, is that?
I would call them big boy toys.
You got
Won't
that?
you?
Yeah. Well, no, we can't, because
Why, we got short guys?
the first
You're
driver,
not going to make a Rico joke, are you?
No, the first driver we're going to see is a lady from Dorchester.
Oh, sorry.
So no big boy there, driving the Malcolm's Mills mill riding Ohsweken Speedway #1. It's Holly Porter.
Wow.
Alongside her from Grimsby, the Bowens Automotive, Image Factor #90 is Travis Cunningham. Row 2 on the inside, the Signal 88 Security EMS Towing #70 from Niagara Falls, it's Bailey Hurd. Starting 4th from Charing Cross, the ERW Contracting Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. Number 9B is Scott Burke. Starting in 5th from Dunnville, the Kingpin Farms Burger Barn sponsored, number 91 is Ryan Turner. On the outside from Ohsweken, the Nitro 54 Variety, number 15 is Dan Nanico. Starting 7th from Picton, the Terry's Taxi Elbrook Excavating, number 84 is Tyler Rand. And rounding out the field from St. P, Quebec, the 3G, Dale Goslin.
Good to see them all making their way all the way from Quebec. We've got a few of them here tonight. Jordan Poirier also we will see along with Dale Goslin. I think there might be one more traveler up from Quebec. Here comes Holly Porter late out of the pits in the #1 car. And she is headed for the pole position, I do believe.
Yeah, slated to roll out first, and she wastes no time and rolling up there to assume her position alongside Travis Cunningham in the 90 machine.
You know, Holly out of the Outlaw Micro Sprints the past few years, also out of the Crate Sprints. getting this ride here with the Steyrs Racing team. Travis Cunningham, low budget single car team here, trying to work it together in the 90. Then you got Hurd out there also in the 70. Those guys can barely get that car in their garage, Adam. They have to take the wheels and wing off to even put it in the shed. Talk about shade tree mechanics. Then you got Scotty Burke on the outside from the western part of the province. Of course, the always tough Burger Barn 91. Ryan Turner outside him. Dan Nanacoke, Hodge, 84, Tyler Rand, Gosselin in the 3 out of Quebec. Full field, and here we go. Holly Porter on the make with Travis Cunningham, and she'll get the lead into 1.
Man, oh man, there was a back and forth cat and mouse there between Holly Porter and Travis Cunningham. Neither driver gave an inch, but it's Porter out in front. And boy, oh boy, you can see the horsepower coming out of these sprint cars.
Nanacoke off the backside of 4. He'll fade out. Holly Porter into 1. Cunningham up to 2nd. Bailey running in the 3rd spot. And that Bailey her machine. Oh, and Burke goes around right in front of Hodge, who will get out of the way, and we're able to fix this one up and not get into one another. We'll go down and give Burke the push he requires in that 9 car. Holly Porter leading in the number 1.
That's a tough position to be in, Rob, when you've pitched the car into the turn and you're wheeling it, and all of a sudden you're looking at a driver right in the eyeballs.
Sad part is, you know what's going around when you get to the point of no return, right?
So thankfully, Scott Burke able to have a harmless spin, and Dan Nanacoke with the wherewithal to redirect his race car to the outside.
You know, guys, when I look at the bottom of 1 as we drove by there, you can see that the bottom is still very tacky. So that inside lane, thankfully, has a ton of grip and bite. So the drivers that are pushing it hard down on the bottom are not going to slide up into the outside groove. But it is a little bit rough there, so they're having to find a, feather their way through the bumps a little bit. Not really bumpy compared for what we've seen in other places, but still something they're going to have to deal with there. Well, it looks like it's in good shape.
What we're seeing there, Clinton, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong, is the arc going into 1. You don't want to be down in that spot to the inside. There's just not, it's too sharp a turn if you're down there in the tacky stuff. By the time you get to where the guardrail really turns towards turn 2, you'd have to make a pretty sharp left-hand turn.
Absolutely. You can actually see the groove coming in there. Like they're about a lane and a half off the bottom where you want to be, so you can tuck her in really tight to the guardrail and blast her down the back chute.
So you want, right where Holly Porter is now, that's when you're going to start pitching the car. If you want to run the guardrail, you're not going to get to the guardrail until where she is right about now.
Exactly.
Right? So you're started into the arc of the turn. That's where you're going to try to keep the left front as close as you can to the steel, not let anyone to your inside. That's when you really dance on the throttle, and probably a little bit of brake too to keep the car as tight to the wall as you can keep.
That's when it's sweet, buddy. No better feeling than that.
When you do it right.
And you know what? We're all humans. We make mistakes.
Speaking of making mistakes, we were at another dirt track that runs guardrails on the inside, and we had a camera, a speed shot. Clinton, did you put it there?
I did.
In turn 3 and 4, and that thing was a punching bag all night long. It got hit about 4 times. There you go. For those of you watching,
yep,
that's the location of the camera. With the speeds they carry through the turns here, I don't think we're going to see that one get clipped, but I've been wrong before.
Let's hope it doesn't.
That's exciting to watch. It didn't hurt the car. Thankfully, it didn't hurt the cars. That's the big concern.
Well, for anybody watching, you have to go single file past the Weld Star Fabrication restart cone on the outside. Here we go. Everybody so far cleaning by, and we'll go. Look at Burger Barn 91 of Turner trying to make the move down low on the 70 of Bailey Hurd.
And the inside, it must be really appealing for these drivers, because we saw Alan Downey spend the whole race digging on the bottom. Ryan Turner seems committed to the bottom. He'll make the pass on Bailey Hurd for the 3rd spot.
Holly Porter, though, still holding it straight and smooth in the Humberstone Speedway. Malcolm Millwright, number 1 car. Hodge again off the backside of 4, and he'll try and keep it going, but up front it's Cunningham trying to hold off the 91 of Ryan Turner.
There's no quitting. Dan Nanacoke out there. A little bit of sparks coming off the brakes of that race car as Holly Porter comes off turn 4 halfway through this qualifying heat for the 360 Knights of Thunder sprint car.
4 laps to go for Holly, and she looks good out front. Nobody even close right now. It's Cunningham trying to hold off the challenges of the Kingpin Farms 91 of Ryan Turner. Cunningham straight off the backside.
trouble in 3 and 4. Synchronized spinning as Bailey Hurd goes around at the same time as Dale Gosselin. They were racing in close quarters down there.
Bailey Hurd nosed into the guardrail here in turn 3. They'll have to push backwards and then get him pushed off.
Now, Clint, I tend to believe that this racetrack tonight, Holly Porter loves running slower on the bottom. You know, when we go to Ohsweken, which is a wide racetrack, and people like to wind them up on the top, as things start to even out, Holly Porter is always one of the first to make the bottom work, you know, sort of finesse it around the inside. This could be the kind of racetrack where she could see some real success tonight, Rob.
I don't know if you noticed the last couple laps when going in 3 and 4, she's about middle of the track now, so it's starting to come in too. So I think we're going to have hopefully 2-3 wide racing. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I see no reason why we're not going to have that. Things are looking great out here. If there's a fundamental flaw in the design of a racetrack, which, for example, the first time a car ever went around Williams Grove, what the heck could the track owner have thought? Like, what have I done? But they figure it out, right? You figure out a fast way. It's still a pretty tough joint.
Yes.
But that's what we're seeing here. There's no spot where you think, ooh, boy, that's an attention getter. It's just a...
Well, the guardrail was that, guys, to everybody who looked at it, right? Everybody had an opinion on it. But I don't see it changing the way they're racing the track, Rob. And maybe I'm wrong. You've been here a lot longer than me. The lines look the same. I don't see a dramatic difference.
No, the only difference really that I notice is the track without the dust, and it's coming in, and hopefully it'll lay down some rubber with these big guys out there. And who knows, maybe they'll be doing some track prep in intermission.
Oh,
we don't know.
We don't like that.
Well,
I know that.
They've asked me what I thought about track prep, and I said we just don't want to end up in an hour delay. We have yet to see it work where 10 minutes can fix it. They're talking about maybe a little bit of water on the outside, but I'm begging to leave it, but we'll see where we get with that.
But I'll tell you guys, you had to been here to see that new water truck. Oh my God, that thing's amazing. It can sprinkle on there.
Well, that's the other thing, Rob. You know, everybody has an opinion on how this whole thing went. I mean, I think Terry's on the right path, and, you know, we just told him, like we tell the drivers, race the track, don't worry about everybody else. Here we go back to it. We'll talk about that in a minute, but Holly Porter stumbles on the gas, guys. She kind of went and then dropped, and Travis kept his foot in, and he'll stay with her right to the bottom of 1. But here comes the 91 with a good head.
She threw a great game at these drivers, a nice slow start, trying to get the car straight and launch towards that pylon, but the car lurched sideways on her, so it almost backfired. But the top two have some gap, Clint.
Yeah, Bigley, Cunningham, and Holly Porter looking good here and saying something for the little guy tonight as they work it off to the white flag. Holly Porter with the lead, but here comes the high horsepower, high dollar 91 Kingpin fart machine of Ryan Turner trying to chase down the 90 of Cunningham, but to no avail. Cunningham will drive it away, and here they come off of 4. It'll be Holly Porter over Travis Cunningham, Ryan Turner, Tyler Rand, and the battle for both. Oh, they nearly get together. I think it was Goslin ahead of Hodge.
Goslin by a nose, and that was a phenomenal battle the entire last lap, Clinton. If I had gotten to cut in there, I was actually going to start talking about a battle for 6th in a heat race, but it was fun to watch those two duke it out.
You know, even Hodge was not having a great heat. That last restart paid off with a 15, and
You know, we have to remember, too, Dan Nanticoke, while he's been around for a few years, does not have a ton of seat time. Dirt racing, much to his credit, you don't get a lot of practice. You know, a race for a sprint car is 25 laps, 20 laps at some places. So a lot of these drivers really still honing their craft. So when you watch them battle like this in the heat, it's great knowledge for them to put in their back pocket. Okay, this is what the car did here. This is what the car did there. Dan Nanticoke, not to single him out, but probably made 3-4 big mistakes in that heat. He learned from every one of them. When the white flag's out, he's out there battling for position, which is what you want to see. I'm looking down into turn number 1, and you can see it now. You can see not going to say it's black, but you can see the groove where the cars are pitching them down into the corner. That's when you're going to start seeing the trajectories, Clint. You're going to see where people gravitate to, what line's going to work. And like Rob said, if that middle comes to life, it's the beauty of dirt racing. It changes all night long.
Absolutely. Watching what these drivers are going to have to deal with throughout the night, watch how it changes, and watch how they change the setup. They're going in now telling their crew what they think they're going to need in an hour and a half from now, which is wild to think that they're making now speculations. Here's the second group out for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series.
On the pole out of Hamilton, the Insta Insulation Best Way betting number 01, it's Mikey Krutchka. Alongside him in the Petro Plus Travel Stop Burger Barn number 13 from Tilsonburg, it's Corey Turner. Row 2 on the inside doing double duty tonight from Port Colborne, the Maverick Real Estate Dow Auto number 5D is Jacob Dykstra. Alongside him from Beansville, the J&E Recovery Julie Swayze Remax 88H, it's Josh Hansen. Another driver doing double duty in a 5. From Beachville, the Casserole Edge to Groot Hill Chevrolet number 5 is DJ Christie. To his outside from Oshwegan, the OSR Race Parts Case IH 68, it's Aaron Turkey. You heard this right, folks. Starting in the 7th spot from St. Catharines, the OSR Oshwegan Speedway number 0, Matt Williamson. And rounding out the field in the 35C from St. Catharines, the CG Motorsports number 35C is Corey Gruel.
They get on the loud pedal. Krutchka gets the brake. He'll take them off to turn number 1. Working down on the inside, you got Turner working on the backside, and they're 2 deep for third.
Aaron Turkey up off the racetrack. That allows Matt Williamson to the inside. He'll take the spot. Josh Hansen sort of clipped Jacob Dykstra. They were working on the same piece of real estate. That bottled up Matty Williamson and DJ Christie. What a battle there for third on back.
Tight battle there. Williamson already picking off cars. Krutchka steps to the outside, and that's going to open up the bottom for the 13 of Turner. As they come back to 1, Krutchka back around the outside, and he'll hold the 0-1, but here comes Turner back on the bottom.
Yeah, he lost grip there between 1 and 2, slid up the track, had to back out of it to keep it on the banking. That allowed Turner to go on by. So we've got a new race leader. Krutchka back to 2nd, Jacob Dykstra 3rd.
Behind them, Josh Hill in the 88th, then Matt Williamson in the 0 car, running in the 5th spot now. He's got around 3 of them and picked up some passing points. Not sure how much that's going to help him out, though, as we get to the halfway point with 4 to go.
Whoa, DJ Christie, keep it off the wall, son, and he does. He got up out of the groove in 3 and 4, and that was an oh-no moment for sure. Nice save by DJ Christie.
Turner with another one up on the line, 3 to go. As he leads the 0-1, Dykstra trying to reel in the Krutchka 0-1. Behind them, it's the 88 of Hansen and Matt Williamson trying to grab some bite in the 0 car back in 5th.
Most of the drivers working the inside group. Of course, as I say, that Krutchka is not. Neither is Josh Hansen. Down through 1 and 2, the inside seems to be preferred. Corey Turner able to sail it down into the corner. Like Rob said, sort of a middle groove through 3 and 4, 1 and 2. They look to be running a bit lower on the racetrack. But as I say that, Turner runs higher, Clint.
Last time down the back straightaway for the Petro Plus 13 Burger Barn car of Corey Turner. He will hold it smooth and steady off of forward of the checkers. He'll grab the qualifying heat race win. Krutchka will come across in 2nd, Dykstra 3rd. Josh Hansen 4th, and Matt Williamson will be 5th. Behind them, Christie and Turkey, along with Gruel to finish this one off. That'll wrap up qualifying heat race number 2 for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series. The final group lining up in the push-off track, and they will make their way out as soon as we get clear.
Clint, do we know where Mac DeMann is tonight?
Mac had prior commitments on the Friday night and was on vacation. He let everybody know what was going on and that he wouldn't be able to make it out.
There you go.
Do you think he's eating ice cream?
Corey Gruel with problems here on the outside of 3, guys.
If he's around Greg Callan, nobody can get to the ice cream.
I was just opening it up for you, buddy.
You're a good man. Everyone needs a wingman. It's all about the setup. Push truck on its way out to get Corey Gruel.
Corey, a long-time modified competitor, had the sprint car for a while and enjoying it. coming out to play a little bit when he can.
Okay, push truck engaged. They'll take Corey Gruhl back to the pit area. And we'll start pushing off heat race number 3. Clinton, are you on the back of that push truck?
I'm on the tow truck. Yeah, I don't know if Spencer's getting the pictures, but we're pushing them in.
I don't know about the pictures, but I can hear the hook rattling.
That's my teeth.
No doubt.
It's my metal kneecaps banging together.
Here's how they're going to line up for the third and final qualifying heat. On the pole out of St. Catharines, the Jason Enterprises Bodyline Auto Recyclers number 46 is Kevin Pauls. Alongside him from Scotland, the Instapanel Styes Tree Service number 87X is Sean Evans. Starting third from St. Mathieu de Bellouis, Quebec, the four-season forming Mega Pumping number 28, Jordan Poirier. Alongside him from Caister Center, the Charlie B. Honey Mudcat Entertainment Center number 11 is Jamie Turner. Starting fifth from Fenwick, the Ashwegan Speedway Race Source NRAM Dynamics number 14H is Jim Hoopinen. Starting in sixth from Picton, the Jones Automotive CarQuest number 11J is Chris Jones. Rounding out the field from Binbrook, the Nitro 54 Variety Creative Edge number 9, Liam Martin. Last one of our qualifying heats. Fabulous car counts in every division. What a way to kick off a long weekend.
Kick off a long weekend. How about a race season, buddy? We haven't had one.
Kick off a new era. New era for Humberstone Speedway. Terry Vince has to be proud of himself for the work that's gone in his team, Rob. So many people.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea. I don't even know how to start naming them. God, now I'm going to sound like a promoter, aren't I?
Careful. You'll run out of friends in a hurry. Kevin Paul's on the inside in that 46 machine. He will set the pace. Sean Evans alongside him on that front row.
Keep your eye on that 28 Jordan Poirier. Then he's going for his 5th straight race here, win in Niagara out of Quebec. And he tries to get down to the bottom. Oh, he buttered it up there, guys.
He made the move work. Jamie Turner not going to give him too much room there. He had the real estate he's going to keep as a Jordan Poirier up to third gets around Kevin Pauls, but Jamie Turner gets around him.
I think Poirier hit that inside rail going off a 2 last time by. We'll see what he can do on the inside. There's still lots of bite on the bottom. If he can keep it straight, he gets up underneath Turner and will wheel it to the bottom of 3.
Turner asserting himself into turn number 3 to get the line that he wants. Again, if you're a veteran like Turner is and you know you'd pitch the car sideways and put your left side Nerf bar right where Jordan Poirier wants to be, he can't be there.
Can only hold him off so long, and Poirier not afraid to keep it in there the whole way around. Wow, that was tight off of 3 and 4.
Great battle between a youngster and a savvy veteran. Jamie Turner, the veteran on the outside, gives way to Jordan Poirier, who takes over the race lead. Sean Evans out in front by nearly half a straightaway.
I don't think we are out of line by saying Jamie Turner probably has the most experience here at Humberstone than anybody else in the fields of both sprint cars tonight.
I think that's a fair statement.
Started out racing here back in the day, race modified over the years, back here in a sprint car now, but it is Jordan Poirier trying to chase down the leader.
Liam Martin making a nice move to the inside of Chris Jones back there for the 5th position. Jones fighting back on the top side, but right now that high groove is just not there with 2 laps to go.
Sean Evans out front leading for the Hills Racing team here in that 87X with a beautiful move. And he's going to be real happy if he can put this one together. 1 and a bit to go for Sean Evans, but here comes Jordan Poirier.
One more time around. I don't think Poirier can get there. Sean Evans running some nice laps in that 87X. He'll head it down the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4 one final time.
Poirier not going to get it done. Evans will hold on for the qualifying heat race win. Poirier will definitely be headed to the redraw with the points he picked up solid showing for Jamie Turner in the 11, 14H of Jim Hoopinen, and then they will be Liam Martin, Chris Jones, Kevin Pauls to wrap up this one.
Great set of heats in all 4 divisions. A little bit of damage on one street stock, a little bit of damage on one mini stock. That's the way you like to see them run through, Rob.
Absolutely. Nobody likes bent cars. It only means money. We're here to watch some good green racing, aren't we?
Hard to put on a show with a bent race car.
Action sprints for B Main lining up right away. Adam hustling right through the program here tonight, trying to keep the momentum going, and we get our first good look at the new lights down the back straightaway and all the way around the surface here, new lighting in place, and tonight's the first test for it.
You know, one of the things Terry Vince said when he took over the Speedway is he wants to run efficient programs. He wants to bring people in, get them entertained, and send them home at a decent hour, particularly Clinton this weekend, which is as much, well, it's not as much about the party as it is the racing, but it's a lot about the party on All-Canadian weekend.
For sure is, and you know, that's a big reason why he brought in Doug Leonard, not because of the party, but to run an efficient show. We got to talk to Terry earlier in the night, and he said, man, I'd be lost without Doug and everything he's done here to get this program going from the racing competition side, and we know what Doug can do for us. He's our first choice whenever we have on the tour at Ashweekan, and great to see Doug getting work here on Sunday nights. It's going to be a great improvement and a great addition to the Humberstone staff.
Absolutely, Clinton. Here's how they're going to line up for this B main. On the pole out of Six Nations in the number 20, it's Johnny Miller. Alongside him from Ancaster in the 51 is Trevor Young. Starting in third from Bloomfield, the 84 is Dan Ferguson. Alongside him, the 48 from Grantford is Lance Erskine. Starting fifth from Mount Bridges, the 45 is Nick Sheridan. Starting sixth from Mossley, the 3S is Austin Rose. Starting seventh from Ashweekan, the 69 is Joshua Hill. Starting eighth from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. Starting ninth from Port Perry, the 4B of Darryl Peltier. Starting in 10th from Ashweekan, the 77T is Tyler Paulus. And rounding out the field from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. So Clint, when they have 4 heats of action sprint cars, how many transfer out of the B main? 4. Just got the official word from Doug, and you said the same number, so that must be right.
Yeah, if it's 3 heats, we would take 6 for 18 and then 6 out of the B. If there's 4 heats, we'll qualify the top 5 with 4 out of the B.
So top 4 get through. There's some good racers out here that are going to have to work hard for their transfer spot. Nick Sheridan, probably the most noteworthy. A former crate sprint car champion, not used to running too many contests.
This will be 12 laps because this is the only race that some of these drivers are going to get tonight.
You know, I was going to talk about that, Clinton. We host, obviously, a show every Tuesday night on GeForce TV. I think it's time to have a name for the B main for the crate sprints. You know, there used to be in classes like this that had a ton of cars. They call it the little feature. There were different things that
The hooligan race.
Yeah.
No, that's not where you're going with that. I understand what you're saying. But yeah, you know, a lot of the argument was, well, they only need 4 laps. It's just to be main. Yeah, but this is the only lap some of these drivers are going to get here tonight in competition with a feature. That's why we don't split them into 2 B mains and only put 4 cars in each, so they can have some competition. And a lot of the drivers who are getting up to speed, they need to race against drivers of their own ability to figure out what they can do. Here we go. Johnny Miller, the Iceman, gets a nice cool start, and off to one they go, with Trevor Young trying to tap dance on the outside in the 51.
Ferguson takes advantage of a good start and a good inside groove to take the second spot. Trevor Young working the middle of the racetrack. He'll settle into third with Nick Sheridan in 4th.
Sheridan working on a qualified spot as he tries to get to the inside of Trevor Young. Austin Rose in the 3, working up on the outside in that 3 car. He's also out of micro sprints, getting his only, I think, 2nd full-time start here in the crate sprints.
And he is committed to that outside groove. He checked up for a second because there was nothing there and then charged it into the outside of turn number 3. I don't know that Austin Rose has done passing cars in this one.
Well, he's a teammate to Mac DeMann, so we can only imagine what Mr. Excitement put in the head of young Austin Rose on that Bobcat, a Brantford number 3S car. But look who's ahead of him. Nick Sheridan trying to right his ship on the night In the 45, he's up into the qualified position number 3. Dan Ferguson, another rookie here in the 84, but the veteran Johnny Miller leads him in the Styes Tree Service 20.
The Iceman Johnny Miller out in front. He's got a sizable lead. He's just got to hang on to that, hit his marks, run smooth lap.
But Rose is driving away from the 51.
He is so. Rose is really hooked up in that 3, running a different line than the rest of the cars are further back. Nobody really able to mount a challenge right now. Trevor Young's got to be a little bit disappointed, having a great starting spot just outside of a transfer position at the moment.
Johnny Miller leading. This will be 8 on the counter as he comes off of turn 4 with 4 laps to go for the youngster out of Six Nations with the Humberstone Speedway and Edrium Dynamics on the side of that car. Dan Ferguson driving out of the Tyler Rand stable here, looking good in second. Sheridan and Rose still hold on to the spots with just over 3 to go.
As long as this stays green, we might see some lap traffic, and that'll really throw a wrench into the works. Lap traffic in a B main, because the cars at the back of a B main Clinton either aren't working that well or the drivers need some experience, so they're not always running as steady a line as some of our leaders.
I don't think we're going to quite get to traffic yet, as Johnny Miller sees 2 to go here in the last chance qualifier for the Action Sprint Tour powered by Pinty's. The rest of them are going to go home and eat some chicken wings early tonight, but Miller swings it off to the white here off of 4.
Man, Lance Erskine just made a nice pass on Trevor Young for the 5th spot. I don't think he has time to close in on Austin Rose, but that youngster has found some speed in that race car.
Yeah.
White flag.
Rose was really hanging it out of 4. Erskine might need a 3 or 4 more laps to get there, but he's not going to do it as your leader comes off of 4. Into the Iceman, cool as ever. Johnny Miller punches his ticket to the A main tonight along with Dan Ferguson, Nick Sheridan, and rookie Austin Rose with a great showing here in the B main.
Not transferring tonight, Lance Erskine, Trevor Young, the 69 of Joshua Hill, Darrell Peltier, Ryan Fraser, Larry Gledhill, and Tyler Paulus. You know, as much as Clinton, you want everyone to come out, race, have a good time, it means so much more. A feature event means so much more when you have to qualify for it. Rob, you've seen that. You've run, you know, going back to your dirt sportsman days where you'd show up at events where sometimes there's 60 cars, 70 cars.
Oh, back in the day, tons.
How good does it feel? How bad did it feel when you didn't transfer through your heat? You think, oh man, I got to run these contests. Like, how does that affect your mindset?
Well, I think a decent driver always blames himself if he's good. You can always miss on setup and everything like that, but I think a driver is always harder on himself than anything else. And when you're going into B main, especially when you start deep in it, it's pretty disheartening. So you got to be pretty fantastic to get up there.
Race fans, we're going to take a break right now on G-Force TV. We'll be back on the other side with feature action from Humberstone Speedway.
That's too many S's for my Spanish accent. Welcome to our online client. I don't know why I keep saying online. Only 2 more to go. Hey guys, this is Jose here at Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC. Welcome to our first episode of our Car Care series. With fall season fast approaching, you'll want to prep for driving in the winter conditions. This episode, we're going to be talking about winter tires. So a couple of the things you want to consider when choosing winter tires is just to know your driving habits, what type of driving you're going to be doing, city driving versus highway driving. Also, a really helpful thing to know is your tire size. So winter tires are built differently than all-season tires. They are made from a softer compound, which allows for better control and improved stopping. So as you can see behind me, we do have a massive inventory of tires, and we do offer a price match guarantee. So please come see our experts here at Queenston Chevrolet. Okay guys, this wraps up our first episode of our Car Care series. If you have any questions or if you'd like to book a service appointment for your tire change, please call 905-528-7001, or you can also book online at queenstonchev.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back, race fans, to Humberstone Speedway, the Pinty's Hot Wing Tour. Right here on GeForce TV. It's time for our Case IH track report. Clinton Jeffrey. Lots to talk about tonight because that is the big story. How was the track going to hold up?
You know, Adam, the big question tonight was exactly that. What was going to happen in a track that hadn't really been raced on in about 8 months? But you can see it is hard packed, very good here. Lots of compaction, still pretty slick here, but there is bite. But you get down here, Adam, down to the inside rail, and there's still lots of traction. Look, I can pick it up, I can move it. It's soft, it's pliable, and your tires are going to dig right in there and really pull. So this whole bottom lane has a lot of bite down here. So you're going to see the drivers that fight. The problem here at Humberstone is your centrifugal force takes you up to the outside and it just becomes a big problem. So the drivers that can really put it here on the bottom, there's tons of bite down here, and the drivers that are here walking around are going to see this, Adam. And the ones on the inside, you can bet they're going to be putting their best rear forward tonight.
I see what you did there. Well done, Clinton Jeffrey.
Trying. Hey, Anthony Dortono, it's his birthday. He just told me to say that. So. But yeah, I mean, track surface looks good. You don't see any water trucks out here. They're not doing anything that they're going to do to adjust the track. Brett Stratford, come here. We got Brett Stratford here. Brett, let's talk about your run. You look like you're getting real comfortable behind the wheel of your sprint car. Solid run out of the B at Merrittville. Solid run in the A. Great run in your qualifying heat. You got to be really pleased with how this BS39 is running. And what do you think about the track?
Yeah, no, the car's running awesome. Problem is I'm just not good on a slick track. So, yeah, I'm just going to try everything I can. Yeah, just exiting turn 4, that's going to be the trickiest part of the whole thing. It's just getting that down. If we can figure that out, everything will be good.
The big talk earlier today, Brett, was about the guardrail in turn 1. It doesn't appear like it's been a problem tonight. It doesn't appear like it's changed the racing lines at all. What's it like from inside the car?
To be honest, I think they should pull out the last 5 posts and narrow it up or widen it, I guess, coming off the corner so everyone can get a launch coming low onto that straightaway.
Let's also talk one of your big sponsors, JP, come on board, threw money in tonight, threw money in tomorrow. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, JP from Sundance Pressure Cleaning, thank you very much. Everyone needs to, if you got a nice restaurant or a nice house, go to Sundance Pressure Cleaning and get it washed. He's the best.
All right, Brett, you better get rolling. Doug Lenton's going to yell it. There's Brett Stratford, one of our second-year drivers going at it here, Adam. And like I said, this track is coming in nice. I think they've done a fabulous job. No track prep, no watering. Let's go racing. My style.
I agree. I can't argue with you there, and that's rare because I just like arguing with you. But race it as it is, and again, you've got to understand the dynamics of these race cars. You're showing the dirt down near the guardrail. These cars are all pitched a little bit sideways, so you're trying to get that left rear as close to the guardrail as you can with the car as straight as you can, because that's where the grip is going to come from. And sure as heck, as someone starts to perfect that line, someone else is going to figure out how to swing it high, wide, and handsome up on the cushion and blow by them on the outside, and that's what makes it fun, Rob.
There might come to a point tonight that they use the bottom up, period.
I'm hoping. That's
too.
One of my favorite parts of the night is when the bottom goes away and they really have to go out and search.
Yep.
But that's the fun of a dirt track is it's different every time. You don't know how it's going to be, but you do know it's the same for everybody out there.
Absolutely, and it's the guy with the best setup and the guy that can find all the sweet spots and not scared to try for it.
I got Jacob Dykstra here, guys. Jacob, you've got a lot of work to go tonight with your two classes. Let's talk about the track. It looks pretty good. I mean, no major rumps, still lots of bite on the bottom. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a totally different Humberstone today. Terry Vince has been doing a good job and working here long days and long nights. I just can't like all the fans here tonight. This is awesome. It's my home track, and it's always good to see the fans packed. So,
how you feeling about your chances tonight? Your car looked pretty good.
We were pretty good in the heat race. We got a good run off the bottom. Was able to take the lead from fifth. So we started 8th in the feature. Let's see where we can go from there.
I will watch for Jacob Dykstra working 8th in the feature here tonight, guys, as he takes the long walk back and takes a last look at the clay here. Figure out what he's going to need to go fast here tonight.
Gotta like the energy of young Jacob Dykstra.
He's young.
He is a warrior. So we have a good look at the racetrack there. I've got another birthday announcement. Happy 21st birthday to Taylor Curran. Lots of love, Mom, Dad, and Dale Jr. Go number 31. Best place to celebrate a birthday.
No better.
No place I'd rather be than Humberstone Speedway.
Absolutely. For a moment, Rob, can we switch headsets between you and Steve? I just want to have a chat with Steve about his upcoming gig.
Does this mean I can go for a quick ice cream?
No.
Oh, I thought we were friends.
Unless you bring back enough for everybody. Once again, it's Adam Ross with Clinton Jeffrey, Rob Lettingham, Steve Sabo. Greg Callan was taking a tour of an ice cream facility, sadly fell into a vat of ice cream. He's recovering at home. They can't get the smile off his face. It's hard for him to announce. So we look forward to seeing Greg back when he can make it. Sad he couldn't be here. But Steve.
Yes.
A new gig. So your voice is going to shadow ours because you have a well-cured voice. It's something.
Well, I do have some experience. This whole experience is going to be a new thing for me. I've done years of radio and clubs. I'm really experienced when it comes to working with the crowd and the people, but this is a new experience with Humberstone Speedway. I've been coming here since I've been 15. I used to sell programs here. We followed the circuit in Ransomville, Merrittville, Syracuse, Wheatsport, Rolling Wheels. I'm familiar with the way that it works, so I'm really excited about taking on this new venture.
It should be a fun season, and it's fun to see new energy, right? It's still Humberstone Speedway, so the people that have been here forever and a day, Rob, can enjoy the history. Ice cream. But there's new, there's fresh. It looks phenomenal, like the effort and a new voice to go with it. So it ties in well. I think you'll have a lot of fun.
I'm really excited about it as well, and getting to know the drivers and the track. And the staff here has been absolutely fantastic. I've been here 3 or 4 nights. I was here last night late. Everybody's been fantastic in trying to help me out and teaching me a few things that I really wasn't familiar with behind the scenes. So it's been a lot of fun. And tomorrow night I'm going to be on my own. I think I am going to have Terry Huffman in the booth here to help me out. So he's going to be on hand to give me a few pointers and a little bit of history about Humberstone. And he did drive here for years, just like Rob is as well. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow evening.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun. That's all it is. If you're having fun, it comes through. It comes through a microphone. I get a hug.
Yeah, you get a hug, but he got his first checkered flag here.
Yes, wow. I did. Actually, it's quite interesting. I was here the other night, and I brought the Brian Cullen Motors official pace truck, the 2021 Chevrolet Silverado RST. So we came by, my daughter and I, the other day, and we did some hot laps and checked things out and see how the track was coming along. They were putting in the inside guardrail. And as I came around to the finish line, there was Rob Lettingham with 2 checkered flags, giving us the checkered flag. So that was really cool. My daughter's talked about it. She posted it on her Facebook page, and she was pretty entertained. So that was a lot of fun. And when Rob's around, it's always a lot of fun.
You know, the next generation is the one we need to get out, right? It's the young people that want their mom and dad to take them to the track. That's how you get them hooked. and classy veterans like Rob Lettingham, and there's been some great people around the races, to name a few names like Rob Pitts, people that just have big personalities, Freddie Carlton, and then you take some top-notch racers like a Pete Bicknell, who's not as boisterous as some of them. He does his talking on the racetrack.
When I used to come here as a kid, it was always the number 6 of Davey Moore.
The Canadian Blast.
The Canadian Blast. I'm actually still good friends with him to this day. And you can, Pete Bicknell, he was a legend. He's still, when I was here, he's still involved in the track and the preparation and over in the pits. And his daughter Erica is always involved. And just a great racing family.
Mm-hmm. And it's a family sport, right? It's generational and it's tough to get away from. Once you get hooked, you get hooked. And
it's in your blood.
Yeah,
you can't beat it.
Really cool. Clinton's mom is here in the booth, so I don't know how long it's been since I've seen her, but generations. And Clinton's son has been helping us all season long with G4, so that's been fun to have around. Of course, my son's back there with the Burger Barn crew doing God knows what, but we're about ready to go racing. Have we been handed lineups?
Yes, I think we have been handed the lineups. I got them here and passed them on over to you.
We had a B-main lineup.
And we got the Brian Cullen Motors official Humberstone Speedway pace truck out on the track, leading the pack around.
And that's Steve Zabo, the new voice of
I'm up for the challenge.
Thank you for the kind words. We just had fun. That's what we're here for. Like we say, we hope it comes through. Let's give you the starting lineup for the Street Stock feature event. 25 laps is the distance. On the pole in the number 25 machine is Kenny Sargent. Alongside him in the 601 from St. Catharines is Jeff Larman. Row number 2 on the inside from Hagersville, the 93K, is Mike Glazinga. Alongside him from Shannonville, the 26, is Craig Handley. Row 3 on the inside from Port Colborne, it's the Fonz in the 1J, Jason Fontaine. Alongside him from Caister Center in the 28 is Jim Lampman. Row 4 on the inside from Demaresteville, Ontario, the 53P is Wade Purchase. Alongside from Hagersville, the 3B is Devin Bacher. Starting 9th in the 55 out of Caledonia, it's Mike Thorne. Alongside him from Belleville, the 03 is Justin Ramsey. Row number 6 on the inside, the 49 from Hagersville is Dave Bailey. Alongside him from Guelph, the 79 is Christopher Hale. 13th is the 28D out of Caister Center, Donnie Lampman. 14th, I believe, out of right here in Port Colborne, the 01 is Barry Beck Jr. Starting 15th from Harley, the 37 is Rob Hoskins. 16th from Port Robinson, the 108 is Zach Bleach. Starting 17th from Oshwegan, the 24 is Blake Bombury Jr. Starting 18th in the 13.5 is Brian General. Starting 19th from St. Catharines, the 48 is Todd Gordon. Starting 20th from Dunville, the 37J is Jeff Bean. 21st from Port Colborne, the 11R is Bryce Richardson. Tom Pearson drives the 30 Junior. He's from Port Colborne. Starting 23rd from West Lorne, the 65 is Scott Dunn. Starting 24th from Belleville, the 17 is Jeff Humphrey. Rounding out the field in the final row from Oshwegan, the 44 is Robbie General. The 11 is from Thorold. It's Go Fast Teeple. That's your starting lineup.
Here we go, off to turn number 1. A good field of cars making their way here around 1 and 2 for the first time.
Wow. Beautiful turn 1 and 2 for the field. Everyone getting it sorted out front, through the field, out front. It's Kenny Sargent leading the way over Mike Glazinga in the 93. Then they're side-by-side Handley and Larmott for third.
Behind them, working on a whole big group of cars. Bailey stuck back there in the middle with Chris Hale. But ahead of them, you got Ramsey and Wade Purchase. Brighton's best here going at it inside the top 10.
We've got some of the best from various dirt tracks around the province. One goes around up in turn 3. I believe he's going to get it pointed in the right direction, and he does. He's just about lost a lap to the field, and he wants to get on his giddy up and get moving before they swallow him up down the front straightaway.
Ken Sargent, another veteran here, raced many, many years at this Port Colborne Oval. Klazinga trying to get a lineup around the outside of the 601, but on the backside. It's the 26 running up to second, that Peacemaker 420 car running very well.
Great run for Handling in the 26. Larmit. Klazinga's been working the outside. I don't think he's thrilled with how high out of the corner Larmit's going, but Larmit has the line. He's out in front. He can kind of dictate where he wants to run. The Fawn says enough of this. He drives to the inside of Klazinga to battle for fourth.
Yeah, multi-time champion Jason Fontaine puts the 1J. The Fonzie machine down on the bottom. Now he works back to the top as he's worked up to fourth and working on Larmit for third.
Right behind Fontaine, it's Wade Purchase in the 53. But Klazinga's making some pretty good smoke down the straightaways. Car handles well in a straight line.
Sargent still with the pretty wheel leading up front. Over Hanley in the 26. Larmit with a good line in third. Then you got a couple of them going at it. Wade Purchase knocking on the inside quarter of Jason Fontaine's 1J. Fontaine takes the spot away and Purchase will be relegated back to fifth. Larmit still holding on to third.
Fontaine pinched Purchase way down the racetrack. Right behind them, Justin Ramsey came up the racetrack on Mike Klazinga. Klazinga had to bite the brakes just a little bit on the front straightaway. Right now, everyone playing a little bit of bumper tag around the guardrail.
Devin Bacher off to the pits, and now Bailey right up the inside of Hale as they battle for about 10th, and a whole blanket of them go through 1 and 2. Sargent and Hanley driving away here in the 1-2 25-26 cars.
3 wide down the back straightaway. Dave Bailey on the inside in the 49. Christopher Hale in the middle in the 79. Up high, it's Mike Klazinga. Now they'll sort themselves out single file, but Dave Bailey got the best of that trio.
Still Sargent holding off Hanley. 3 wide for third back there. Now Purchase to the inside of Larmit. That ports the 1J of Fontaine to the outside, and he'll fade back. Can't quite get around Larmit, and here comes Ramsey.
And Larmit's back bumper looks like it's about to exit the vehicle, so I pity whoever is behind that 601 when it does come off the race car. Dave Bailey gets to the inside of Justin Ramsey.
And that is not a bumper cover. It is a big steel chrome horn on the back of that one, and you're right, Adam. You don't want that one coming up into your grill.
As soon as it digs in, Dave Bailey was right up behind him. I would think as soon as Bailey saw that, he'll pick a different line.
The problem is he's in the best line. And now Larmit quick in the 601 right on the back bumper of Jason Fontaine. And you're right, Dave Bailey doing all he can not to knock that bumper off.
Justin Ramsey making sparks as he bounces off the front straightaway wall. Now Bailey to the inside of Larmit. We got a slow one down the inside of the back stretch.
44 here into the infield, and that'll be the end of it for this one. Back up front, though, we still watch Ken Sargent hold off the Hanley 26. And right there, here he comes. Wade Purchase into the back door.
Brighton cars having a really good run here tonight.
They always seem to run good here. You know, a lot of these are built by the Gordons, who know this place oh so well. And those Warrior Street Stock chassis are just dominant out of Concept 1 fabrication.
Larmit starting to slide backwards through the field. A few cars have gotten to the inside of that 601 and put them in what would be the rear view mirror if they had one.
Hey Greg, do you see what Sargent has on his back quarter? Ice cream sponsor.
There you go. Greg's not watching us.
No, he don't even watch when he's here.
He's in a dairy coma.
Hanley working on the backside here of the 25 for Sargent, who's got the parlor, cones, and cafe. 25 up front, and 2 Brighton regulars taking the fight to Humberstone.
Trouble off of turn number 4. Christopher Hale gets locked together with the slower number 65.
Oh, and they almost all got through there. No.
Oh no. The butt end of that wall, Todd Gordon clipped it.
Oh, I felt that from here.
And then engaged full throttle. I don't think that made him too happy. Chris Hale getting hooked together with Scott Dunn in the 65. Hale was having a solid top 10 run, but how about that street stock racing? There's no better racing than street stocks on dirt the last 5-6 years in this area.
They have been so competitive. I mean, usually the top 5, you can throw a blanket over them. You don't know who's going to come out.
Nope, and the top 5 tonight might be 10th to 15th tomorrow night because someone else has led the charge. I wonder, we probably don't want to mess with that. That other microphone doesn't go through our system. And not the time to play with that, I don't think. We're trying to get creative up here so we could get Steve involved. We are under yellow. Clinton, are you down there on the scene?
I'm here. I'm trying to keep Ryan out of the quicksand because I just went up to my knees in it. Not there, Ryan. Yeah, so Hale, the front end all beat up on this car. The left front tore off the 79, and the arc hooked together down here. The Scott Dunn 65, they are pinched right together here. Let me know if you're picking up those pictures, Adam.
We are, Guy.
So
I'll do his job for you,
That's
buddy.
perfect, Robbie. And we'll watch to see them separate. Tough break for Chris Hale. You know, this is a lap car with Scott Dunn here getting into the side of the Hale machine. Hale trying to go to the inside and not quite where he needed to be, obviously.
So I have a task, Clinton, and my task is for Francesca Spiteri, who's enjoying commenting because she is impressed with the plaid race cars. We have a highlight, we have a replay, sorry, of Chris Hale making contact with the Dunn machine and getting locked up. I called the 11 of Go Fast Teeple a plaid car, but now that I don't think that's what you call that pattern. I don't think it's plaid, but there is a word for it. And Francesca, I hate to say, and I don't know, Francesca?
Franny.
Okay, Franny, let's go with that. I'm embarrassed that I had to ask that. There are probably people in your house that would know what that pattern is called because they had more experience in the decades when it would have been prevalent. How did I do there, Rob? Was that smooth or was it?
You know what's a great cover-up? I'll help you out with this one. I always tell everybody my wife's favorite color is plaid.
Very good.
What is the name of that? There's a term for that particular. So the task is on. Whoever can get that wins an ice cream date with Greg Calnan.
Look at the side of this car, Adam. The 65 is all tore up. There's a big piece of it missing on the side of the Hale machine. And they'll get it out of here. Dunn will be able to continue along.
And Chris Hale taking that long, awkward ride back to the pits. It's a humbling sport. Well, you're on top of the world one lap, and next thing you know.
You know what they say? Hero one day is zero the next, right?
This is tart.
Tart. That's okay. That's what we're hearing. Tart.
Look at that. She must win a prize, like maybe an ice cream or something like that.
I can't read writing that small, for goodness sake.
You can't read what's in front of you right now.
Put it on a Argyle. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting.
Now the
we're
game's
making
on.
progress.
Hey, Adam. Last time I went to talk to Teeple, he yelled at me. He's here in the infield. Should I ask him what color the car is?
I would, but then again, I just want to see him throttle you in the infield. Right. Like he's about 3 times wider than you are, and he looks like a lot of muscle.
Teeple, you don't want to talk to me. I get it, but they're talking about what color is this car? What are you calling the color of the car?
Plaid.
Plaid. There you go, Adam. Thanks, Teeple.
No. Ask him, is there a specific type of plaid? Like
he says, is there a specific type of plaid?
Was there inspiration for this look?
Just the one that looked badass to me. That's it.
I agree.
We all agree, Teeple. So there you go. Badass plaid. There's your color, Adam.
It looks like the kilts that were worn in Catholic. So see, it's similar but different.
Isn't it nice to send him down there, though, to talk, and we're up here nice and safe?
Clint doesn't know this, so please don't tell him. But when we do races with pit roads, if he's at the turn 4 end of pit road, I try to find a story at turn 1 that we can send him down to cover, and vice versa, because I just love to watch him on the go. And then he'll turn his microphone on, and it's impressive because within about 2 seconds he catches his breath.
Do you see where I'm now? I'm coming up to have a talk with you, sir.
Go ahead.
That's okay. The door's locked, buddy, unless you got ice cream.
I'm still protesting a little bit the plaid. Like I swear, maybe it's tartan, maybe it.
You know what? Why can't we just say plaid?
Well, that's what I was saying, and then it bothered me because I thought there was a term.
See, Adam, here's your problem. You overthink too much, okay?
That plaid is family tartan.
Okay. So different families have different tartans. See, we're learning here.
Buddy, it's too much. Let's go racing. I don't want to get educated.
Let's do it. We're about to go back to green. Kenny Sargent in the 25 is led from the drop of the green flag. Some fantastic street stock racing. Green flag is out. We're back underway, and he's got Wade Purchase on the outside trying to challenge for the lead. Side by side down the back straightaway, Sargent not able to shed that 53 machine. In fact, Purchase with a nice arc off of 3 and 4, Clint. I shouldn't have set Clint up. I don't think his microphone's back on. He's getting position there in the infield to call. And as we talk about Wade Purchase having a good roll through the corner, here goes Jason Fontaine and Dave Bailey. They'll take over second and third spots. The cream rising to the top. I mean, all of these top 5-6 cars, top shelf racers in the region.
As we spoke before, look at how close-knit this is.
Man, oh man, whoever wins this one has earned it. That is for sure. Kenny Sargent right along the guardrail. One of the things dirt racers do, particularly a veteran, Sargent won't change that line until someone shows them they can pass him. You know, you run that line lap after lap after lap, but nobody's been able to beat you. Part of that mindset is run the car at 90% until someone really mounts a challenge and then step it up, find that little bit more.
Absolutely, it's your safe zone, but a smart guy that's in the back, you only get one shot to pass, so you never showed yourself, right?
Jason Fontaine trying to size up Kenny Sargent, but he's not getting the run off the bottom of the turn like Sargent is in the 25, and he's got to know that with the top-notch competition here, someone's nipping at his heels, and as soon as he sees the blue hood of the 49 machine, he'll think I should have taken my shot. I should have taken my swing. But what a battle among the top three, nose to tail through 3 and 4. The yellow flag is out. We got a slow one there in turn number 2. I believe that's Zach Bleach.
So what do you think? How cool is this to win one of the first features, get set up for one of the biggest races here coming?
Because Sunday there's a big money race for these same cars.
But be the first guy to get that new concrete dirty down there.
Well, these drivers don't need much motivation. I mean, they're competitive. They like to beat each other. What the common rules among dirt tracks in Ontario for the Thunder Stock Division, Street Stock Division, and the Mini Stocks has been phenomenal. Because, folks, if you're not familiar, we've got drivers here that would run weekly at Humberstone Speedway, that would run weekly at Merrittville, or Ohsweken, or Brighton, or Southern Ontario Motor Speedway. They come from all over, and they can come together because the rules are the same at all the tracks. So we get to see the best of the best. There's something
driving styles.
Right. It's fun to see the rivalries like Dave Bailey and Jason Fontaine would have racing here week after week. But then you throw in a Justin Ramsey and a Wade Purchase who spend their regular weekly races at Brighton, but then they come together for the specials. You know, you're just throwing a little bit more gasoline into the fire every time.
Adam, the one question there I have is, Brighton has a Thunderstock race tomorrow. So I don't know if those guys are going home and coming back Friday or Sunday, or whether they're going to stay in the Niagara region for the weekend and run Merrittville tomorrow, back here on Sunday, and then back to Merrittville Monday.
That's a good question, Clint.
Maybe they're running non-point.
Yeah, I did.
Back home.
And you know, when you think about it, Adam, we know Brighton's had all kinds of problems. They haven't got many races. I think one night in so far. So maybe they're not really gambling that much, just taking one night off, figuring we only had one night in, we can make up the difference. But good story, we'll have to find out.
Either way, we're fortunate to have them here tonight to put on this great show for us. And as we say, we're just fantastic competitors. There's a couple of drivers missing, Clinton. The Shaw family not making it down, but that's a long tow on a work day from down Chatham area. But by and large, this is the best of the best in dirt thunderstock competition. White flag will set them loose single file next time out of turn 4. And look at the Fonz. Look at Jason Fontaine.
Lights go. Here we go.
We're still getting text answers on the plaid conversation, which I love. Jason Fontaine right up on the back bumper of Kenny Sargent, ready to jump on the throttle. Sargent, a veteran with a lot of years and a lot of wins under his belt.
Yeah, they've all got wins here. Fontaine and Sargent going at it with Bailey, Ramsey, and Purchase. 5-0, the best from around the province going at it, and they nearly go 3 wide. They all get together.
A little bit of bumper tag down into the corner. Dave Bailey got the worst of that as Justin Ramsey up the inside of the 49. 2 laps to go.
Sargent trying to hold off a hard charging 1J of Jason Fontaine, the hometown kid. Sargent, the veteran, multi-time champ here in multiple divisions. Also trying to get it done here in the 25. White flag is out. Can Fontaine take a poke?
If Fontaine doesn't hit Sargent right here, he's done. Sargent's getting such a good run off of 2, and he wiggled him just a hair.
One last pop in the backside coming. Fontaine trying to line up. He took the shot, but it stuttered. Sargent gonna grab the win here over Fontaine. Bailey, Ramsey, and Purchase, the top 5. Then Mike Thorne will be 6th, Larman 7th. And the rest of the field on after them, and we'll get down and get ready to go to our brand new Humberstone Victory Lane.
That was some quality racing in the street stock division. What a way to kick it off. I mean, anyone in that top 5 could have dumped the car in front of them. And there was some bumping, but not dirty, Rob.
There's always going to be that, but I got a question for you. Now, if this is Sunday night and it's 3,000 to win, how do you think that finish would have come out? Do you think it would have been different?
No, you know what, I don't, because I don't think it even enters into a driver's mind. If you put good competitive racers on a racetrack, the money goes out the window. Like, a racer wants to win. And if I'm willing to bump someone, move someone to win, I'm willing to do it for a cheeseburger as much as I would for $10,000.
Really? I guess we're a little different there, buddy.
Well,
you know what? If it was big money up front, I'd take my father out for the win if I was in second. My son out. I don't care. I'm here to win, and I want the money because it costs so much money to race, buddy.
It does, and I can't disagree with you. Like, I can't say you're absolutely wrong. I just think it's different shades of... And
plaid.
We may find out. Different shades of plaid, different patterns. We may very well find out Sunday night what someone's willing to do.
No, I just think it'll be different in my eyes anyways. That's why we're all allowed opinions, buddy.
You got it. We hear Clinton Jeffrey down in Victory Lane getting ready to set things up. We're waiting for the Kenny Sargent number 25, and I believe he is going to be led right behind the fence, between the fence and the grandstands, down to a really cool Victory Lane.
Here he comes now, obviously, across the scales, all good.
Okay, I thought the pace truck was leading the way, but we've got an ATV out there leading the way for Kenny Sargent. He's visited Victory Lane a lot of times here at Humberstone Speedway, but never on this side of the fence, folks.
And they got that tire tracker's truck right there. That brings in all the crew guys and everything, so nobody has to cross the track, and we can keep the racing going, buddy.
That's pretty cool.
It wasn't my idea or nothing.
No, but you...
Oh, that's right. It's my son driving the truck, too.
No kidding.
Isn't that great to see?
The fans moving up in the grandstands to greet Ken Sargent as he comes by. I think we're going to see a pretty elated Ken Sargent. I recall his Victory Lane interviews the last time or two he's won, and it's someone who really appreciates how hard it is to achieve a win and how rewarding it is. You can hear the crowd in the background.
Look. Right up on top of the hood.
The best part is we don't know if it's someone who likes him or doesn't like him. Either way, they're on the hood, and that's exciting.
You know, it's funny you were talking about that. The boys were saying, if you ever get on Victory Lane down here in the new one, what would you like? I said, probably a case of Gatorade, because they'd be all throwing it at me, and I'd need some for ammo to throw back at the crowd, right?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's working his helmet off down here in the brand new Humberstone Victory Lane, right here inside the grandstands. We'll wait a moment, get his helmet off, and we'll get a word with him. As Kenny Sargent, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand? Your first Humberstone feature winner of 2021, Kenny Sargent gets it done.
I thought he was going to be pretty happy down there. Now he's going to take... In fact, for that celebration, it was probably better he kept his helmet on, Clinton, for safety.
Yeah, for sure. Come on around, Sarge. We're waiting to talk to you here as he gets his breath caught a little bit. We'll work on that for you. Come on around. We'll get you a drink.
Water. Who needs water? Isn't the beer garden just behind the trailer?
Kenny Sargent, what a great job here. You got to be real happy. You know, when I started here, you were a veteran, still getting it done. How does it feel to be the first feature winner here at the Humberstone Speedway in 2021?
It's awesome. And first and foremost, I can't thank Terry enough for everything he did. The fans we have tonight, the cars we have in the pits, my family, my sponsors. Like, this is life right here.
True. I know, Kenny, you have a lot of experience here, and you spent a lot of time here. You got to be super pleased to see the way this has come out. You just mentioned it. What else is on your mind?
Sunday night.
There you go. That's another big thing. A lot of money on the line. This sets you up for it. You've got to feel good. You're going to carry all that confidence back into the All-Canadian. You've done it before. Can you do it again on Sunday?
I've won the All-Canadian 3 times in a row back in my pro stock days. We're going to go for number 4.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny Sargent gets it done at Victory Lane. We'll get his photos done. We'll get right back at you. We got Terry Vince here. Terry, come on over. We got Terry here. Terry, you said you wanted to say a couple things to the fans tonight. We got you here. How amazing is it for you to have everybody here at the track tonight?
I just want to personally thank everybody for coming out and supporting the venue. And it's been a lot of work, and I'm sure we're going to have some growing pains, but in the future, I think we're going to carry this momentum in for the rest of the weekend.
Terry, I see you should be a lot more stressed. You're just happy, enjoying the night. Good to see you relax a bit.
Thank you, buddy. It's been a long road, but I can't stress enough on being thankful for everybody showing up. Thank you.
How about it for Terry Vince, ladies and gentlemen? The reason we are all back here tonight at Humberstone. Keep it going for Ken Sargent. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the Action Sprint Tour powered by Pinty's feature coming right up.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they are made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? But these are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Welcome back to Humberstone Speedway for the Pinty's Hot Wing Tour on G-Force TV. It's time to go racing with the Action Sprint Tour for Crate Sprint Cars. 24 cars about to take the green flag. Here's how they're going to line up. On the front row, both drivers from Thamesford, Ontario. On the pole in the 45L, it's Curtis Gartley. Alongside him is the 7 of Eric Gledhill. Starting third from Hamilton, the 56 is Derek Lemaire. Alongside him out of Waterloo, the 19D is Alan Downey. Starting fifth from Wainfleet, the BS 39 is Brett Stratford. On his outside from Ancaster will be the 26X of Terry Baker. Starting seventh in the 49L, he's from Brantford, it's Lucas Smith. And alongside of him from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. I'll tell you, that fourth row is one to watch. A couple of young, hard chargers lined up there. Right behind them, out of Freelton, the 12 Double D, Darren Dryden. To his outside from Hagersville, the 14T is Noel Teal. Starting 11th from Kitchener, the 50LS is Adrian Staley. To his outside from Font Hill, the 08 is Stephen Beckett. Starting 13th from Six Nations in the 38, it's Derek Miller. Starting 14th from Beachville, the 5 is DJ Christie. Starting 15th from Ushweek in the MK8 is Matt Hill. Starting 16th also from Ushweek in the 9C is Brian Nanico. Starting 17th from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. Starting 18th from Brampton, the 70MM, Dave McKnight Jr. Starting 19th, the 31 out of Bowmanville, it's Dale Curran. Starting 20th from St. Thomas, the number 4 is Jesse Costa. Starting 21st, it's the Iceman out of Six Nations, the 20 of Johnny Miller. To his outside from Bloomfield, the 84 is Dan Ferguson. In your final row, starting 23rd, it's the 45 out of Mount Bridges of Nick Sheridan. And starting 24th from Mossley, the 3S is Austin Rose. That is your 24-car starting grid for this Action Sprint Tour feature event. And if the Thunder, I keep calling them Thunder cars, but they're street stocks on the card.
You know what, Adam? I think you can call them what you want. Most of us understand we've been around long enough, right?
Different ways to say the same thing, but boy, if that race was any indication, I think we're in for something pretty spectacular here. The inside was the preferred groove, but I don't see 24 sprint cars running the bottom for their 20-lap feature event. I believe it's 20 or 25.
Gotta remember, track is green. 25. Track's green, it's coming in. It's going to get better and better. It's all a learning curve too again, right?
I can't remember ever seeing a fresh clay surface react this well to its first night of racing.
Technically, it's not fresh. This is what was down below. They graded down until they found moisture, and that's what we're running on. If you want my opinion, I think maybe it's the old Humberstone.
Could be. It could be. But regardless, you get down because clay, the nature of this kind of dirt that makes a good dirt track, it has to retain water, but water works, it'll find pockets, and that's where it'll sit. Of course, you freeze over a winter, it creates a little crater there. So as things settle, that's where you get your potholes and your ruts and your dips. And boy, oh boy, not seeing much of it, Rob.
No, I think they did a heck of a job.
Rob, when I was a kid and came here, was the banking a lot higher, or was that just something I perceived as a child?
Oh, here we go with the age thing again. You're absolutely, it was much higher bank back in the day. I remember watching the 320 modifieds run here like 3 wide, buddy.
And the reason it comes up, Clinton, is cars used to go off 3 and 4, and all you could see was the very top of the roof. If they happen to have a light on them, you could see the light. And now, you won't see them go off much at all. But, you know, as Rob explained, they've dug down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I used to remember someone would go off the end of turn 1, and you wouldn't see them till they came on out of turn 2 on the back straightaway.
Well, normally they were either Port Colborne or Shirkston, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful field of cars, folks. 24 strong. There's not an ugly one in the bunch, Clint.
Now we got 4 more showing up tomorrow night, too. So if you didn't make it here tonight, don't forget, $20 will get you in to see the same program tomorrow.
And let's cut you off, folks. If you've got your hat on, take it off, stand up, get on your feet, grab your hat, grab anything that's nearby, give these drivers a wave. They are going to be waving back at you because they're about to do battle for 25 laps here at Humberstone Speedway.
You know, I gotta wonder if tonight the night Stratford can get it done. Looked really good. Dykstra's been the man to beat lately, like Kyle Rothwell has in the mini stocks. A lot of stories to follow. Adam, just to follow up the last race, I got a message from Adam Taylor, said the Brighton boys are down for the weekend. They're skipping Brighton tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Don't anger the Angela.
Going green this time. Eric Ledhill and Curtis Gartley bring us to it. 25 laps in the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour. Here we go. The revs come up. And we already got a big problem into one. Problem into red.
Beckett on his side. I'm not sure who that was that took evasive action through the infield, but that was a pretty slick maneuver.
Derek Miller's putting through the infield. Doug Leonard has come over the radio and said it was an easy over.
I thought someone was going to get split on that guardrail there. And I mean, Beckett did go for a bit of a grind there along the guardrail. We'll wait and see what we, if we have views of it.
Beckett out of the car, ladies and gentlemen, which is a great sign.
I wonder if there's a chance that they could continue.
Matt Hill stuck down here on the infield. His car looks all right. Beckett's car, we'll see what happens once they get it off the rail. Steven taking his gear off here. The nose wing all tore up on it.
And he went for a long
and we'll see
slide.
how this one comes out for him.
Yeah, great replay from up on the roof. And whoa, wow. Was that coming to the red?
Yes.
We saw an amazing speed shot of Brett Stratford getting all sorts of sideways fishtailing.
Well, at least we know he's got brakes on there, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have the Matt Hill machine here as well, and I'm not sure if you're seeing these cleanup pictures. Are you seeing them?
From the roof we are.
Got you. So Derek Miller has asked for his 2 minutes in the work area. Matt Hill is also here in the 8MK stuck down on the inside, but his car appears to be all right.
I don't think Derek Miller can get a change of underwear in the 2 minutes you're allowed in that work area. Is that, I mean, a wild bit of driving on his part to avoid that guardrail, but that's got to get your heart rate going, Rob.
Absolutely. All you can think of is, oh, goodness, this isn't going to be good, right? To come out unscathed? Amazing, isn't it?
We'll have another look here down the front straightaway as Beckett got bounced around, tossed on his side.
Yeah, you're good to go, bud.
So you hear Clinton Jeffrey in the background, and here we're looking at Brett Stratford getting out of shape there as they come to the red flag. That was a tail slapper. And Clint is amazing at the things that he does, because he will help a driver to tell them, hey, here's what you're looking at damage-wise. You know, maybe you want to stay in the car. He'll work with the safety crew. What's the best way to get it cleaned up? He's been doing it a long darn time. And then he'll work with his camera operator to tell him where he wants it to get the best view. We had some comments because on the dirt tracks, we're used to it. He's everywhere. We were at the APC late model show at Flamborough Speedway not long ago. People are commenting, he's slowing down the show by being on the track. He's actually making the show more efficient, because he orchestrates some of the cleanup. He gets to talk with the drivers. It's amazing what he accomplishes down there. So, Clinton Jeffrey, what's on the scene?
Well, we're just going to get the Matt Hill car going out here. We're going to push him out a little bit. He's stuck down on the bottom here, and we're getting a push truck in. Matt Hill's car looks all right. Here comes the push truck, and Cale Thompson and the rest of the G-Force crew working out here. But here comes a push truck. Matt Hill. Adam, you'll notice the nose wing is askew on the Matt Hill Nitro 54 variety MK8. It is solidly in place, though. We bounced the back end in front, as you mentioned. It appears to be all right. And here comes Matt Hill getting pushed back into service. The nose wing is askew, but all right. Taking a look at the Beckett car. Top wing is junk. Front axle's got some issues. A few radius rods and a nose wing. But aside from that, Adam, as far as we can tell, the rear end is rolling. Not sure if there's any damage. Don't see any fluids out of it. Could have been a lot worse for Beckett here. But he'll be done for the night nonetheless.
These, the cars are durable. Like, you see what they go through, and like you say, they'll take it back to the pits. They'll have some work to do. Obviously, that top wing is going to come off. Fresh wing's going to go on, but it wouldn't surprise me, Rob, if there's not that much to do to that race car to get it race ready.
Yeah, they're made pretty gingerly for parts to bend and break in the right spot for driver safety. So normally the frames are usually savable. It's just the wing that's pretty expensive too.
Yeah, about $800 to $1,000 for one of those top foils. But if you're going to race sprint cars, you better be ready to throw away a few top wings, right, Robbie?
You got it.
Sounds like the Derek Miller car has taken his 2 minutes in the work area, but will not return, we hear over the radio. So Derek Miller will be done. And the work on getting this field pushed off again. Track is clear. We're ready to go.
Yeah, that's a shame because Derek Miller, I was impressed with how he was running earlier on. And, you know, there's another one. Sprint car driving is not for the faint of heart. Derek Miller is a world-class musician. You know, that's... You need those fingers for strumming the guitar, so...
If you recall, Adam, you know, he was filming a sitcom on APTN, couldn't drive for most of the 2019 season because the production company's insurance said if you hurt yourself, everybody's going to have to lose their job. So he was bummed he had to wait almost a whole year to race.
It's amazing the personalities that come together and all compete together here. In any form of racing, Clinton, it attracts people from all walks of life and all levels of success, and it will humble the most successful and the most wealthy person, just like it will the person who can't really afford to be here, but they're here anyhow. Racing luck does not discriminate.
Look at guys, we've had doctors and everything running these cars.
Oh, yeah. Well, who was Major General Lewis McKenzie? Who ran an open wheel. Jeez, I gotta get my facts right before I.
Is this going to be like that plaid thing coming on again?
It could be. You wouldn't believe the conversations we've had, Rob, and the discoveries we've made. Clinton, I'm not going to bring it up. Well, I might bring it up. But Clinton Jeffrey was so mad at me one night leaving last weekend for something that I made. We talked about it at great length. He's like, we're all going to lose our jobs, you know. And then he got a note from the boss saying that was hilarious. Clint, you remember what that was?
Yeah. Do you want me to say it?
Why not?
You started talking about what the official definition of cockeyed was.
Right. The car was dog tracking a little bit, as the expression goes. It's cockeyed. You wonder where expressions come from. Just like that plaid, it creates a conversation. But the more uncomfortable Clint got talking about it, the funnier I found it. So I just keep driving it home and driving.
Yeah, it was the one night that I knew the two owners of the Speedway were on vacation, watching every single word we said. Spencer, we're hearing you.
Yeah, they were in. I think they were in. Was it Bora Bora, Clint?
Somewhere like that, yeah. Somewhere way across the other side of the world, but still spent their afternoon watching us at night.
and they found it funny. So once Clinton learned they were okay with it, I was off the hook. But
we've had about 2 or 3 of those moments over the last couple of seasons on our live streams, but we're ready to go. We've lost, looks like 2 cars, Derek Miller and the Beckett 08. Working on the lineup here.
Okay, and I just got a note, Formula 1600, the General. It was Lewis McKenzie, wasn't it, Gary? He'll text me back. So I give you half facts, right? Like, I'm almost like Cliff Clavin.
Like, do you do this on purpose just to get everybody involved?
It creates conversation. So, little known fact, like I can be as big a dummy as anybody, but I sometimes say things that I'm confident that people will have an alternative opinion of. Because you need to create that. Friction makes fire, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, Clinton's not going to say anything to step out of line. He's down there with the drivers, and Lord knows Greg's just thinking about his next ice cream cone. So somebody's got to keep stirring.
I just hope he's not looking for a replacement. This isn't my gig, bud.
You know what? It's been enjoyable to have.
Oh, I'm having a riot.
You know, that's the thing, right? You get people who are so you're not screaming and yelling, but you're passionate about racing.
I love it.
And it comes through, right?
It's family. It's in your blood. It's in everything, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that why we're all here?
I think so.
Rob doesn't eat enough to be on this crew.
That's a fair point.
Watch what you say, buddy. You've never seen me eat.
Gledhill on the outside. Curtis Gardley on the inside. He could be a sleeper here as well. We're going back to green.
Green is out. Gledhill gets the loud pedal down. A drag race into one this time. Can they make it through clean? And Dykstra right up around the outside of the 5D.
Dykstra found a lane nobody else was running. Makes some great moves up there into the top 5. Looking to do more of the same in 3 and 4, but Alan Downey is up there where he wants to be. Whoa, trouble off of 3.
DJ Christie around in turn number 4 with an easy spin. And that will straighten things out once again with Gartley, Gledhill, Downey, Dykstra, and Lemaire the top 5.
So lap 1 complete.
And this is not typical of the Action Sprint Tour. We knocked a couple off here in the last few races without any cautions, or maybe one. So to have 2 in the first lap is something we don't often see with the crates. They've been really, really good at them, especially when you consider the amount of rookies we have here trying to learn this trade of sprint car racing.
Oh, I agree. I mean, this is just good, hard racing. Got another answer thanks to Darren saying it's Buffalo Plaid. So you see that one skill tester from 30 minutes ago still getting answered, which is pretty spectacular. So what this will do, Clinton, the fact that we took that lap, this restart's going to be single file with the cone in place. I feel a little bit badly that the person puts the cone out on the end of a long rope and runs away. Like, they've got to sprint that 50 feet or so up to get the cone. They'll wait till all the cars go by. Set the cone out. I don't see the rope attached to the cone.
It's there.
It's invisible.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. There we go. So he's gonna stand there with his hand on the end of the rope that's about 40 feet from the cone.
How does he know how far to put it out onto the track?
So the question from Steve is how do they know how far? What they want, you have to be, the rule is on the restart, the leader can fire near the cone in turn number 4. Everyone has to stay single file. You cannot pass, you cannot pull out a line until after you get past the cone at the start and finish line. It's kind of a safety feature. It keeps the animals in their cage a little bit longer and lets things
Keeps
sort
them
out.
all nose to tail before they can actually make a move, right?
Now, what happens if they run over the cone or go on the other side of the cone?
Well, I think Brett Stratford would be mad, wouldn't you?
No, it's 2 spots to answer your question, Steve. 2 spots on the next restart or the next flag. So you get docked 2 spots if you go inside or hit the cone. It's the answer. And the answer to the first question is, how far do we know how to put it out? Well, our race director, Doug Leonard, is looking up from the tower, and he figures out what's a fair lane that they're going to be able to get by without having an issue. So that's pretty much where we are.
This time our official is staying with the rope, because earlier they were getting away from the rope. Now that there's lots of cars, they stay with the rope.
All right, here we go.
As long as they're not holding it till the cars go by. Here we go. Gartley clean past the single restart cone. Everybody looks to make it on through, and we have a clean start.
Good start. The cone is vacating the premises. And out in front is Curtis Gartley leading the way. Still a single file train, but he pulls away from Gledhill off of turn 4. Jacob Dykstra looking to the inside of Alan Downey for the 3rd spot.
Dykstra will get by Downey and take that position away. Lemaire back and forth. Dykstra moving into 3rd as he works on the back end here, the Gledhill 7.
So Dykstra is probably as versatile a driver as we have in the field. He is one to find that quick lane as quick as anybody. I'm curious to see who else is going to pick that up. Clint, earlier you talked about Brett Stratford. He's hanging around in the top 5, working the inside groove.
Yeah, it's almost a battle for the rail here, and I'm watching Jacob to see if he can get under him. I think back to the 360s where, you know, the leader had it as long as they were on the bottom. As soon as they opened up the door, it was easy to stick it in there. Dykstra's not quite close enough to start playing the intimidation game with Gledhill, but he's going to try and test the outside now and thinks better of it.
Well, I'll tell you what Gledhill's doing that our race leader is not. Curtis Gartley goes down into the corner and he lets the car come off the guardrail. Gledhill, until this corner right there, was keeping his car pinned right to the steel. So he gets down into the turn, keeps that car down, not leaving much for Jacob Dykstra to work with. So I think Gledhill will be a more challenging pass than even our race leader might be if Dykstra can catch up, Clint.
Dykstra not able to reel in the 7 car as quickly as we thought he would. Gledhill was running for a qualified spot at Maryville in the B main and stepped over the cushion, so he's having a great recovery after what went on at Maryville, Adam. But here comes lap traffic, and that may be the move that Jacob Dykstra needs to accordion these 2 leaders together.
Lap traffic favors Jacob Dykstra. He's an experienced race winner. That's definitely going to help, but Curtis Gartley has a lot of laps in a sprint car. Here we go into the lap traffic. Hill going to be the first car he encounters, and in order to make these passes, he is probably going to have to come up off the bottom of the racetrack.
You know, Gartley is kind of new to sprint cars, but he raced micros for a long time out at Wonderland Speedway, I believe it was, and now he makes the move underneath the MK8, and that has to slow his progression a bit, and here comes Gledhill and Dykstra.
He's committed to that inside line, and he didn't quite get the front end up far enough. Now he sailed it in on the high side, gets that run off the corner, so he'll build a little confidence there, but here comes Dykstra to the outside for second.
Dykstra goes around Gledhill, going to try and make a move on Gartley, and Gartley's really got to pick up these lap cars and put them back behind him to keep Dykstra off the tail, and Dykstra is able to pass on the high side.
10 laps down, 15 laps to go in this one, and this is going to get fun out here. Every car is difficult to pass, so cars running different lines. Jacob Dykstra is going to have to deal with that as well.
Dykstra working to the inside of the Austin Rose 3, puts that lap car up on the outside, but not close enough to make a shot yet.
Curtis Gartley closing in on DJ Christie. Christie just hasn't quite gotten himself comfortable with this racetrack in the new formation. Curtis Gartley sizing things up. He's going to approach DJ Christie in this corner, but he's going to have to make a decision by 1 and 2 because Jacob Dykstra is not going to hesitate.
Yeah, he can't hesitate. Curtis is going to have to make it move on the outside and give up the bottom to Dykstra if he's going to hold on to the lead. Dykstra's got the bite up there. Gartley's going to have to put on the signal and change lanes now.
Dykstra's gone to a lane that Gartley hasn't dared go to just yet, way up on the high side. But as soon as Curtis Gartley sees the 5 up alongside him, he's going to know that line is there. So I think we're going to have an extended battle here. This is a good one.
Now Gartley's going to hope that one of these lap cars steps up in front of the 5 and he can dip back to the bottom, and that might happen there as Johnny Miller gets up in front of Christie.
Side by side, DJ Christie and Johnny Miller right in front of the leader. Now, to be clear, they do not have to move over and get out of the way. Their job is to run a consistent line. They're racing for position just like the leader is, Clay.
Dykstra up around the outside. He's the point leader coming into tonight with the Maryville feature win in his hands, and he's trying to pick up 2 and stretch out his lead on the Action Sprint Tour point chase, which pays $5 grand of Pinty's cash and a trip to Bristol.
Oh, trouble for Curtis Gartley. Johnny Miller slides up right in front of them. That opens the door for Gledhill, and he's got Alan Downey right behind him. So second, third, fourth, right together through 1 and 2.
Now, Adam, if we have a caution, lap cars get pulled out all night long. So that would put them right back on Dykstra's rear bumper. The last thing he wants to see with 6 to go is a caution.
You're probably right, Clinton Jeffrey, but he has got wicked traffic in front of him here. Dave McKnight to the inside, making a move there down into turn number 3. They are fanned out too wide in front of the race leader.
Gartley not close enough to make a challenge on the 5 car as they take it back through here on the bottom of 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway, it's Dan Ferguson, and Jacob Dykstra will work up the inside of the Ferguson machine, and now it'll be Dave McKnight right in front. 4 laps to go this time.
Dykstra up to the outside of the 70mm. Will make that pass. Curtis Gartley gets passed by Alan Downey as the battle for second is wheel to wheel on turn number 2.
Dave McKnight fought back a little bit on Jacob Dykstra there, but Dykstra was able to complete the pass in turn 3. Curtis Gartley and Alan Downey side by side down into the first turn.
Downey with the spot. Gartley battling back, and they're still wheel to wheel off of 2. What a great race we've got going on here for second.
Fantastic battle with 2 laps to go.
White flag coming out for Dykstra, this time by off of turn number 4. Got 2 lap cars for Brian Crow and Rob Neely to navigate here in one more lap.
He works to the outside of Rob Neely, now to the outside of Brian Nanakoke. Coming off of turn number 2, clear sailing for Jacob Dykstra. Just needs to make a clean 3 and 4 to take the win.
Jacob Dykstra brings it off of turn 4. He will be 2 for 2 on the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour in 2021. Great run here in second for the 19 of Alan Downey. Curtis Gartley will come across in third, followed by Gledhill and Stratford unofficially. Solid drives here, but Jacob Dykstra proves once again he's the man to beat.
6th through 10th, we've got Derek Lemaire in the 56, the 26 of Terry Baker, Darren Dryden in the 12 Double D, Jesse Costa in the 4, and the 49L of Lucas Smith.
Wow, that track's looking pretty black out there.
It's getting that way, but that's good. Smooth it out all the way across, make them go to that extreme outside. That line is there.
Can I ask Rob a quick question here, being a veteran of this track? Does it make a difference of the tires that you select with the condition of the track, whether it's tacky, whether it's brown, or later on at night, whether it starts to get black?
Well, pretty much every track going now has tire rules for every class. So you don't really have much choice. It's all in how you prep the tires now. Now it's getting to the grinding, what they call the siping, the grooving, and I don't even know, are they allowed to do that on the right rears of the crates? Are they allowed, or just to grind them?
You can do anything to your tires. Grind them, sipe them, cut them, anything you need to do.
There you go.
In the sprint cars anyways.
See that, Clint? That's why we keep you around. You're just a wealth of information.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't bring ice cream, so you have to keep me around for some reason.
Must be your good looks.
You know, they've got, not to beat a dead horse, but they've got apps like if you point your phone at a certain color, it'll tell you what the color is. They need to make that for plaid. I might do that. I might initiate the process.
I need that because I'm colorblind.
I don't think it's plaid. I think it's now referred to as tartan.
That seemed to be the consensus.
It's been clarified. It's tartan.
Well, they're making their way down here. Jacob Dykstra getting pushed to victory lane, where he will be greeted by Clinton Jeffrey.
The Humberstone Speedway victory circle right out front, in front of the crowd. The number 5D.
Well, as we wait for Jacob Dykstra to get unbuckled here, I got Tony Spiteri from Pinty's. Tony, thanks so much for your support of the sprint cars. All this Pinty's All-Canadian weekend. Being a Port Colborne boy yourself, pretty good to be back at the track in hometown.
I can't tell you how good it is to be back at our home track and actually be proud of it. What about the fans? What do you think of the work Terry and the crew are doing down here? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And our folks at G-Force, I mean, to be able to, I got a lot of friends that from Port Colborne living all over Canada, and they're able to watch it all day, right?
Well, he's out of the car. How about it for Jacob Dykstra, ladies and gentlemen? 2 for 2 on the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour this year. We'll get him down here and talk to him. Jacob, we talked to you at intermission. You said you're starting 8th and you felt pretty good. You got to feel pretty good here. 2 for 2 in the point leader coming out of your hometown after 2 races on the Action Sprint Tour powered by Pinty's.
Yeah, I feel amazing. My crew, they've set me up with a great car. My dad, he's been doing a lot for us. And, man, I got a tattoo this week of Bob Bedezowicz, and this one was for him, man. He was a really big part of our family and the whole racing community. And, yeah, this one was for you, buddy. I got to thank all my sponsors, Mavericks, A to Z Expediting, Westside Automotive, Dow Auto, Sundance Solutions, Simplistic Linens, 24/7 Water. Man, I'm sorry if I forgot any, but this is just awesome. I'm having a blast right now.
Pretty pumped up, Jacob. Can you do it 2 for 2 tomorrow night?
I damn hope so, man. It's going to be a good weekend.
How about a hand for Jacob Dykstra, ladies and gentlemen, picks up the victory here tonight in the Pinty's Action Sprint Tour, race number 2 on the year.
So let's take a quick break on G-Force TV, and we will be back with the mini stock feature event lined up on the front straightaway.
When you think about it, productivity starts at planting. So it's time to rethink how productive your planter can be. We did with the new Case IH 2000 Series Early Riser Planter. We rethought your row unit so it's tougher, more accurate. We rethought your meter, took the most precise technology, factory installed it. We rethought every inch of the Case IH Early Riser Planter to make it the most productive planter around. And if you think about it, that's exactly what you want.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
Welcome back to Humberstone Speedway, Pinty's All-Canadian Weekend. It is time for the 15-lap mini stock feature event. They've been waiting patiently on the front stretch while we do some photographs here still with Jacob Dykstra, a hard-earned victory, a fantastic race. Folks, here's how they're going to line up for the mini stock feature event. On the pole in the number 24 is Rodney Rutherford. Alongside him out of Smithville in the 6X, it's Mike Sarantakos. Starting third from Waterdown, the 01 is Tristan De Silva. From Caledonia, the 21X is Mark Bazine. Starting fifth from Beamsville, the 7B is Sean Cuse. Starting sixth from Parts Unknown, the 222 is Nick Massey. Starting seventh from Ancaster, the 16 is Fabio Oliveri. Alongside him from Port Colborne, the 14L is John Lubeck. Starting ninth from Waterford, the 46 is Wade Thorne. To his outside from Smithville, the 44B is Leroy Buscombe. Starting 11th from Thorold, the 96, Tyler LaFantasy. Starting 12th from Welland, the 114 is Kyle Rothwell. Starting 13th from Port Colborne, the 71C is Ray Sorrenzia. Starting 14th from St. Catharines, the 519 is Rob Shaw. Starting 15th, I believe from Port Colborne, the number 3 is Courtney Cochran. Starting 16th from Welland, the 19 is Hannah Rothwell. Starting 17th from Hamilton, the 5 is Brian Aubie. Starting 18th out of Niagara Falls, the 44 is Danny Worster. Starting 19th from Hamilton, the 91, Oliver LaRocque. Alongside him from Powassan, the 3A is Kevin Aubie. Rounding out the field, driving the number 7 if they were able to make repairs from Port Colborne, Jordan Denabriga. That is your starting lineup for the mini stocks. Clinton, you've got me all screwed up on Tyler LaFantasy. We were doing so good for years with LaFantasi, and now we got a new pronunciation, and I just can't nail it. I can't stick the landing on that one.
I don't know. Hopefully he wins and we can find out for real. Because for 10 years when I was the announcer, I called him Tyler LaFont. Now I'm confused.
LaFantasi is what we've gone with for a while.
LaFantasy is what they're calling him.
Yes.
I'm calling him the 96 TMR car. How about that? Tyler. Easy.
There you go.
2 in, 2 to go. Features remain here.
Are we ready to go green this time around?
Wow, the mic's working and everything.
Hey, what happened?
You're live. High five, boss.
Hey, it's all good.
This is going to work out, Steve.
Mike Bowman behind the wheel of the Humberstone Pace truck tonight.
Nice.
The Brian Cullen Motors.
Cullen Motors. Official pace truck.
Chevrolet Silverado RST.
See, Steve got his headset working at the perfect time for that.
Yeah, I might go home. I think I'm done.
And help Greg eat your way out of the bathtub?
Oh, pretty much. I ran. I should have kept going. I was doing all right with that, and then I ran out of steam. I think I came up with four ice cream stories. Not that any of them were good, but I put in the effort.
He's going to say you were at a lasagna eating contest all weekend tomorrow. That's all we're going to hear about is lasagna and ice cream.
Back in the day when I used to come to Humberstone Speedway when I was 15 years old, Gordy Wilson was the track announcer.
Yeah.
His famous words were, "Here they come around turn number 4. Bumper to bumper, nose to tail, door handle to door handle." And here we go.
And Gordy trained me back in the day. Here we go. And it is Rutherford on the lead here into the bottom of one with Serentakis dancing up on the cushion. Here comes Tristan Da Silva.
Dan Worster made a bold move on that start. Looked like he might launch up into the second or third position, but he fell back, and Tristan Da Silva with a good opening lap. Not quite as good as Rodney Rutherford, who holds down the lead.
Yeah, that Jibs Action Sports Leggett Chevrolet 01 of Da Silva running very well. Bazine in the Burger Barn Petrol Plus 21X. We know he can get the features one as well, as they had to jiggle it too, but they sorted out.
How about Burger Barn Racing? They've got representation in every division tonight, Clinton.
Yeah, multiple cars. They've got Bazine here, Thorne in the Thunderstocks, Erskine, Lemaire, Turner. Lots of cars here tonight. Good support by the Burger Barn crew. And Rodney Rutherford tries to hold off the Jib 01.
I'll tell you, this is a short race, only 15 laps, but I'm watching Wade Thorne a little deeper in the pack in that horribly ugly number 46. He is quick.
Thorne has always been quick at him from his bomber days at Oshwegan. Back into the mini stocks, picked up a couple feature wins at the Big O. And yeah, you said it doesn't got to be pretty to be quick, and he is definitely both of those adjectives tonight.
Makes a nice move there to the inside, moves himself up into the sixth position, knocking on the door of the top 5. And speaking of knocking on doors, Tristan Da Silva about to mount a challenge for the lead.
How about knocking way out on the far door, and that is Kyle Rothwell, stuck back in 10th position right now in the 114. He's got a long way to go in 10 laps to make it.
Long way to go and a short time to get there. I won't say it can't be done.
Well, I'll wait till he comes around turn 4, and then I'll say he's eastbound and down.
I wasn't sure which way north was, so I couldn't even go there.
Hannah Rothwell stopped here, and they get told to get it slowed down on the one-way radio.
And the caution comes out.
We are under yellow.
So we were talking earlier, Adam, about the bad luck for Hannah Rothwell. Coming out of the go-karts, Dad Kyle, who we know has a rocket ship of a car, built her this car as a graduation present last year. And I don't mean like June that just passed, the June that passed. So she's been waiting a long time to get this car out. They had trouble with it last week at Maryville. They had front-end issues and a starter problem, I believe. So she has just not had the luck. And if you read Kyle Rothwell, it's a father making these reports on Facebook. He just feels terrible, wants to get her going. He says, we will get this car going for young Hannah.
If he wants to get her going, put her in the 114 and let him work out the bugs in the 19.
Come on now. He's trying to get her going. He's not trying to lose.
One thing that's really cool about this division, you've got front-wheel drive, you've got rear-wheel drive, and you've got small pickup trucks all out on the track at the same time. How cool is that?
Well, that's the thing with a four-cylinder division. It opens the door to a lot of vehicles, and as we see, our speed camera did finally get hit there in 3 and 4. That's probably what took out the radiator in Rothwell's car, Clinton, was your positioning of our speed camera.
Hey, don't say that. They're going to start sending us the bill.
We're not admitting to nothing tonight.
Do they have video G-force proof? Because then we'll talk.
Oh, there it is.
Actually...
yeah, actually we do.
I think something hit it from the other side of the guardrail. The cars had all gone by already. And then you saw a big shudder out of the camera.
That's just like another cover-up story. Do you think it was a plaid car?
Conspiracy theories.
It was a plaid camera.
Coming from an ex-driver.
Oh, that poor camera. Folks, if you're enjoying the show tonight, more shameless self-promotion. Head home, go to gforcetv.net. This place looks beautiful. If you're watching from home, get yourself to Humberstone Speedway. The lighting, the surface, yeah, there's been some dust, but it's not the kind of dust, like Rob, we'll name names. You've raced at Fulton Speedway, places where the dust comes, you can't see the race cars from the and I mean, granted, they run some big day races in the fall, and there's like 200 cars there. You'll have those, but there are places where the dust is inconceivable. You can't compete with it. This is just a little bit of floating dust, just enough to remind you, hey, I was at a dirt track tonight.
Rob, if I can add to that, do the drivers still use the tear-offs that they used to use?
Yes, absolutely. You know, when you speak of the dust and that, you know what, opening day, first track prep, you know what, I think it's amazing, and it's only going to get way better during the summer, right? So, trial and error.
Oh, no, and I'm not complaining.
I'm totally impressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am too. I totally agree with you there, Rob. You know, Dave Walters came up and said, what do you think in the mirror? I said, please don't touch it. It's going to be perfect. We've seen where we've just wasted an hour at other tracks.
Yes.
And you get nowhere. In 3 laps, you're right back where you were before you started. So, to me, it's just a time waster until we find a crew that can knock it out in 10 minutes. I say you get what you get, and you don't get upset, as my in-law would say.
I think Terry Vince has done a fantastic job of getting this track ready, and it's looking fantastic tonight, and we're looking forward to the feature attraction.
You know, let's just talk about all the racers. Rob, you've been around who've come in. You know, we dropped it on our show the other day. Just racer after racer jumping in with whatever trade their day job is to help them. I mean, Brett Stratford and Mike Bowman building, you know, water trucks, and Kretschka here running all wires for new speakers. And, you know, you guys are here, and Terry Huffman, and I mean, the list goes on and on of race car people who are behind this program, and it's great to see.
It's a passion. We all love it, buddy. You're here too, aren't you?
I love it. Been here 26 years. Here we go. Off of turn 4, Rodney Rutherford. Not typically a dirt driver, Adam, but he's getting it done here tonight in this 24 car.
Having a good run, a nice restart for Rutherford. Tristan De Silva keeping it up on the high side. They're trying to squeeze 3 cars into a 2-car hole through 1 and 2.
Down the bottom comes Danny Worster trying to find a line to make it work, but it's still Rutherford with the lead. But here is Bazine and De Silva, and they're stuck 3 wide in the middle. Oh, they go. Is that Rothwell?
Oh, he's over and over.
Red
Goodness
flag
gracious.
is up.
Red flag comes out for a car on its roof. That is Cokeridge, the 3K.
Kyle Rothwell up against the fence as well in turn number 1.
That was a hard hit for Kyle Rothwell.
Now he's going to have 2 cars to fix for the next 3 nights.
Hopefully he's okay. We got our safety crew out there, our fire crew, paramedics, everybody on hand to make sure he's okay.
So let's have a look at the replay. They're coming off of turn number 4. And just someone, that truck picked up a bad push. Kyle Rothwell hit that wall at an ugly angle. Safety crews on the scene going to work here. Spencer, let's have a look at turn number 1, the damage to those race cars.
Adam, just want to mention Courtney is okay down here, working her way out of the car. Going to take a moment, but she is talking and getting out. So that's a good sign.
The challenge with being upside down, and Clint, I had this conversation. That's why I said we should probably go to turn. I had this conversation with my son Connor, who races on the asphalt. I said, if you're upside down, do not undo your seatbelt. All you want to do is get out of the darn car. And the challenge is all of the safety equipment that you've got, it holds you into that seat. So you think, I'm just going to undo my belts and take off. You undo your belts and all of a sudden you're crashing down on your head. Imagine jumping upside down and just landing on your head. That's what you're about to do if you undo your belts, Rob.
Sounds like a second accident.
It can be. But you know what, too? Also, sometimes when people are upside down, the fear and everything, first thing they do is just want to grab and run, right? So
they want to panic.
Yeah.
Great job by the safety crew to get right down in there. You assess the driver as quickly as you can, and they got in there to give her a hand getting out. So, well done. Obviously, the safety equipment in these cars doing the job it was meant to do.
How about Hanley's jump for Courtney? She's all right down here. Good to see. Courtney, are you okay? That's the big question. Car is upside down. Can't tell the damage yet, but doesn't look too bad.
No, that was a pretty graceful one. I flipped before, and the first time was way harder. So.
Well, at least you're smiling. How about it for Courtney, ladies and gentlemen? She'll get ready for the rest of the weekend. We're going to migrate our way down here and look at Kyle Rothwell's 114 and see if we can find out about that one.
Our racers are so phenomenal. Courtney knows enough to acknowledge the crowd, give a wave, point to the camera, give the thumbs up. And I mean, that's the beauty of mini stock racing. That's the idea. Like, nobody's going to miss a mortgage payment next month, hopefully, for what's gone on here. It's supposed to be fun.
You know what, though? Mortgage payments, I don't know. There's a lot of tent villages around now, so it doesn't cost much to live, right?
This is true.
Safety first.
Well, I got him here, guys. Kyle Rothwell, the hottest driver in mini stocks in Niagara, but you got that car to fix now. It is a mess. You've got Hannah's car to fix, and we were telling about your Facebook stories about how you're trying to get it together for her. What happened here, Kyle?
Well, first of all, with Hannah's car, we found a loose motor mount that was lifting enough just to keep pulling the axles out, and we thought we got that figured out, and we were just working on getting it a little bit tighter. It's a bit loose for her right now, but as far as this car, I got another car sitting somewhere. It doesn't have an engine or nothing in it, but it looks like this one's getting taken apart.
Really, Kyle? So what's the major damage? Obviously, the door is a problem here, but that's cosmetic. What's mechanically going on in the front end?
Just from what I can see, it's everything on the right side's pushed in. So lower control arm, axle, strut. It's all replaceable stuff. I'm sure it's not that bad when we get it apart tonight, but I definitely got the best team in this division, and if anyone can get this car back together or another one, it's this team.
Don't go away yet. Hey, fans, if you see Kyle out racing these next 3 nights tomorrow, make sure you cheer him hard because they'll be working hard. Quickly, Kyle, how do you say Tyler's last name?
LaFontaine.
LaFontaine. We'll be right back on G-Force TV. Thank you, Kyle, for your time.
The People's Choice since 1968.
People's Choice since 1968.
Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC, the People's Choice since 1968.
Hey guys, my name is Jose and welcome to Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC. Today I want to talk to you about what makes us stand out and apart from other GM dealerships. So we're family owned and operated since 1968. In those years, we've been actively involved in our community through numerous endeavors. We're also a proud member of the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. So our GM dealership has won multiple awards throughout the years for sales, parts, and service. So as a thank you to our customers, we have a loyalty rewards program. So any expense that you do at our dealerships will get you points and money. The points you can unlock rewards with, so like details, you get free gift cards once in a while as well. The money you can save up and use for the purchase of your next vehicle. Also, if you show the cards at our local merchants that are partnered with our program, you will get discounts like at Montana's or Turtle Jack's. You get exclusive discounts and promotions. Additionally, we also have a very large lot and inventory, lots of trim levels, lots of colors for you to choose your perfect vehicle. Thank you. Remember to visit us online on QueenstonChev.com or come say hi in person at our dealership so we can show you why we have been the people's choice since 1968.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back to the Pinty's Hot Wing Tour on G-Force TV. We remain under red flag as they finished the cleaning up of this accident. And I'll tell you, I was hard on Kyle Rothwell. I said he should have given his daughter that car, and he can work on the car with Gremlins. how great a dad are you when you've just wrecked the best mini stock in the province, and they come to talk to you on the microphone. The first thing he wants to talk about is the problems on his daughter's car and how they're working on it to get it better. So Kyle Rothwell, he's all right in my books.
There's the passion to win, the passion to create, continue. Think about family, right?
And he had the
He's
opportunity.
only young.
But wait a minute, Rob. We brought you in here for fire and venom, and all you talk about tonight is love and passion. You're old, man.
Oh, what a jerk.
But remember, buddy, you were picking the bottom of the barrel. You knew that when you got me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Adam, but... No, it's great to have you here, Rob. Seriously, I mean, for those who don't remember Rob, I looked at you back in the day. You know, some guys can make the move, but you had a way of just jamming that car in there and not touching the guy beside you. And when I seen a young Stuart Friesen come out, he had the same style as you. You know, most guys would take it in straight. You're sliding it sideways and making it work. And, you know, that's why Adam and I are so veteran announcers now, all the races we saw you win in the years.
Oh, buddy.
But what a day it was back then, right? We had you, Pitsy, Freddie Carlton, Jay Mallory. Who else am I leaving out?
Joe Mizell.
Joe Mizell.
Oh, he was a character.
I called him Hulk Hogan.
Little Hulk Hogan.
You can't forget Joe.
I hear he's got a place at Bissell's now. So if you're over there, look for Joe.
There you go.
Living the high life.
Living the smart life. Got out of racing. That's
Absolutely.
There were some fun times. We man, heated battles.
Oh,
we shouldn't forget little Matty Williamson.
Right, of course.
Back
right.
in the day.
And look at him now.
Oh yeah, he's done all right for himself. Brad Rouse, who continues to be a dominant force in the sportsman division.
So, you know, when it comes to Matt Williamson, he's going to look back at these days, and he's going to be talking like we are now. These are going to be his good old days.
You know, I think about that once in a while. Clint and I talked about that, and I don't think we were on the air. We might have been. You know, to me, the best atmosphere I can ever remember was the mid-'80s going to Super Dirt Week or the classic at Oswego Speedway or Cayuga Speedway.
Merv Treichler, Gary Ewell.
Marvelous Merv. But I don't think that time was any better than today or the 70s or the 90s. You know, it's all the good old days.
That was our era.
It's what hooked me. It's what brought me in. And
that's what gave you the passion. That's why we are here today.
Some poor kid today is having to listen to me.
Yeah, we are not textbook announcers. We are have fun guys, and you know, I always looked at us like just fans who happen to have microphones in our hands. That's all.
You guys do a great job, man. I'm telling you.
Fantastic.
We do what we can. We make it enjoyable for ourselves, and figure hopefully someone's having a good time like we are.
Well, if they don't get it, at least somebody will.
Right.
Well, look at this battle shaping up here on the restart. 7 in and only 7 to go as they come back around here to the front straightaway, and it's still Rutherford trying to hold off Tristan Da Silva. Two kind of Flamborough-y guys, right, Adam?
What a nice move, and absolutely Flamborough guys. Tristan Da Silva rolling the high side of Rodney Rutherford as we got them mixing up a little bit deeper than that, but wow, Tristan Da Silva's got that car on a rail.
Da Silva, one of the top guys at Oshweek in the past couple seasons, and wow, that was a wiggle, waggle, daggle into turn 1, all the way down the front straightaway. The car shaking back and forth, and here comes Rutherford to the inside of Bazine, just chomping at the bit.
Well, Bazine got the worst end of that wiggle off of turn number 4 on the last lap. Tristan Da Silva trying to pinch down Rodney Rutherford.
2.
Yeah, we got one around in turn number 2.
Oh, and Rutherford slows on the front straightaway.
Oh boy.
And he will pull in on the bottom.
Thankfully, they all missed that. There's a car parked backwards. Hey, Doug, car backwards in turn 2. Okay, we're still under green. Someone's got to see that blue car in turn 2.
10 in, 5 to go. Da Silva.
You know, it's scary, but sometimes, you know, when something, and I can tell you right now, it was the ambulance that would have blocked Doug Leonard's sight line.
Well, I'm here where I am. Yeah, and he just said, can we move the ambulance more to the infield if we could? I was going to say it's the blue tractor with the blue car right behind it. Could have also been an optical illusion from the angle Doug was looking at.
So thankfully everyone was able to avoid. But that'd be a holy moly moment.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm talking about Super Dirt Week back in the mid-'80s. I remember the official dirt starter was Bobby Watson. He was Wheat Sport Canandaigua rolling wheels, and he used to get up there and the flags were going.
The best there ever was. There was never a better starter than Bobby Watson.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Who was the announcer? I have the name in my mind. I just can't think of it.
Jack Burgess.
Jack Burgess. That's it. Yeah.
Just amazing, and he was one that brought the magic to it.
See, and he was trying to say I was old. He can remember all this.
Jack Burgess, exactly. Yeah, he was like you guys. He knew everything about everything, the history of the driver, the history of the track, where they're from, the car, all the configurations. Yeah, that was amazing times.
Yep, and he could bring them to life. The nicknames that these drivers had: Jumpin' Jack and Marvelous Merv and Brett the
AJ
Jet,
Slideways.
AJ Slideways.
The Doctor.
It's one thing to say it, but it's
The
another
Monk.
thing to own it. Lou Lazaro, the Monk, Lou Lazaro.
Yeah.
It was just, it was a special time.
So what can we call you? Just not late for dinner, right?
Exactly.
I knew you were going to
Or
say
for
that.
ice cream.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing. Tristan Da Silva in that 01, flexing some muscle out there. Mark Bazine in the 21 going to start alongside.
And here we go.
Well, Bazine has not been able to get alongside the 01 of Da Silva yet. LaFontaine right there on the back bumper as well, trying to pick up 2 in a row as he won at Maryville on Saturday. Da Silva will open up the bottom, and here comes the 96.
Da Silva opened the bottom and then drove back to the bottom, so if he can keep that car down, but in 3 and 4 he goes up the racetrack, big old wiggle. Now he's coming back down again. Whoa, big time.
I think there's something wrong at the front end of that car, Adam. Maybe a loose tie rod or something. It is not handling the way he wants it to. It's fast, but it seems to be all over the track on the straightaways.
You could be right. You could be right, but he's still making some pretty good giddy up in that 01 machine as Mark Bazine working on him. You know, now that you say that, it does almost look. Did you watch where the right front was there, Rob, on the 01?
Yes.
I think maybe he's badly towed out, Rob. Would that do it if you're like a couple inches out?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you see him come down the front chute, it's you can really notice it on the right front. It's got some issues.
I think there's slop in there more than toe out. It just looks like it's.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like something's loose in the front end, and he's trying to chase it, almost like the steering arm's got a lot of play in it or something, right?
White flag out this time by Can Da Silva. Hang on for a top 3 finish. La Fantasy in the 96 machine pulling away from Mark Bazine.
Tyler LaFantasy working it down the back straightaway now. Multi-time feature winner here in multiple classes over the years. He will work his way off of turn number 4 for the Twisted Metal Racing Group. And APC, the 96 machine of Tyler LaFantasy, wins ahead of Mark Bazine, and Tristan Da Silva will hold on to 3rd in the 01 with something going awry in the front end.
Yeah, way to hold on to that finish. Sarantako is 4th. Lubeck rounding out the top 5. And then it's Leroy Buscombe, Sean Cuse, Wade Thorne, Fabio Oliveri, and Dan Worster rounding out the top 10.
And he'll pull up the car to the winner's circle right here in front of the start-finish line here at Humberstone Speedway.
And Mark Da Silva, Tristan's dad, will have a little bit of work to do this weekend, but great to see him back at the racetrack. A good showing for the mini stock division. Race fans, and then there was one race remaining, and it is the Knights of Thunder 360 sprint cars.
And speaking of sprint cars, we're talking about old times. Do you remember the days of Doug Wolfgang and Sammy Swindell?
Absolutely.
The one in Nance, like that brings back some sprint car big names.
Talk about then and now. Doug Wolfgang not active, but Sammy Swindell can still lay a whooping on most of those kids.
Unbelievable.
And he lets them know that too on interviews, doesn't he?
Ah, he's great.
He shows no mercy whatsoever.
So LaFantasy will head to the scales. It looks like he's coming back onto the racetrack now, where he will make his way behind the fence and down into victory lane in that black and yellow number 96.
Terry, is that official? Well, Adam, I just got an announcement here from Terry Vince, the owner. JP from Sundance Power Washing, who is sponsoring the crate sprints, just decided he's going to pay $5,000 to win tomorrow night for the crate sprints. How about that?
Wow, absolutely amazing.
The 360s only make 2. But he's a fan of the crate sprints and says that's it. 5 G's tomorrow for the crate sprint winner. Big money. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, down into the brand new Humberstone Victory Lane. In the Rob's Transmission Auto Service, Twisted Metal Racing, Louisa's Sweet Retreat APC 96. Tyler LaFontaine wins it. How about it, Humberstone? Tyler works to get his helmet off. We'll get him around here in the front. No stranger to Victory Lane here at Humberstone. But he'll be the first mini stock to be in the new Victory Lane here at Humberstone. Tyler, great drive. I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row that Kyle's had problems, and you were the benefactor of those issues. So you're keeping it going for the TMR crew, but sorry, but a lot of your money's going to have to fix his car and hands. They're pretty beat up, but you keep it going for the team. It's got to be cool.
Yeah, you know what? It's great to get one for the team. It sucks seeing all my teammates break down tonight, but we'll get them all fixed up. Hopefully back here out for Sunday.
You know, busy weekend for you guys. Will you be racing all 4 nights?
I am planning on with this one all 4 nights. As long as I don't run out of parts, we'll be good.
Who do you want to thank here tonight, Tyler?
I got to thank Transmission and Auto Service, APC Parts in Welland, Louisa's Sweet Retreat, and the whole TMR crew, and also Blanchard Signs and Graphics. This car looks amazing.
Awesome job. How about it for Tyler LaFontaine, ladies and gentlemen, gets it done. We'll be right back after this quick break on G-Force TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
What makes a trailer a Miska? Is it the heavy-duty Canadian steel they're made from? Or is it the exceptional finish that will last year after year? How about knowing that these are the best back trailers in the industry? These are the reasons you buy Miska. So what makes these trailers a Miska? It's the hard-working Canadians who craft them. We are Miska. We are Canadian tough.
Welcome back to Humberstone Speedway, the Pinty's Hot Wing Tour on G-Force TV, the Pinty's All-Canadian Weekend. And what a way to start it off. We've had 3 amazing features. It is time for the Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Feature Event, 25 laps the distance. Here's how they're going to line up. On the pole out of Tilsonburg in the number 13, it's Corey Turner. On the outside, row number 1 in the 90 out of Grimsby, it's Travis Cunningham. Starting third from St. Matthew de Beloit, Quebec in the 28 is Jordan Poirier. Starting fourth from Hamilton, the 01 is Mikey Krutchka. Starting fifth from Picton, the 84 is Tyler Rand. And starting sixth from Dorchester, the 1 is Holly Porter. Starting 7th from Scotland, the 87X is Sean Evans. Starting 8th from Dunnville, the 91 is Ryan Turner. Starting 9th from Caister Center, the 11 is Jamie Turner. Starting 10th from St. Pete, Quebec, the 3G is Dale Goslin. Starting 11th from Port Colborne, the 5D is Jacob Dykstra. Starting 12th from Fenwick, the 14H is Jim Hoopinen. Starting 13th out of St. Catharines, the 0 is Matt Williamson. Alongside him from Binbrook, the number 9 is Liam Martin. Row number 8 on the inside from Beamsville, the 88H is Josh Hansen. Alongside him from Oshwegan, the 15 is Dan Nanakoke. Starting 17th in the 11J out of Picton is Chris Jones. Alongside him from Beachville, the 5 is DJ Christie. Starting 19th from Oshwegan, the 68 is Aaron Turkey. Starting 20th from Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. Starting 21st from Waterford, the 46 is Kevin Paul. Starting 22nd from Carrying Cross, the 9B is Scott Burke. Rounding out the field from St. Catharines, the 35C is Corey Gruel. That's how they'll line up for this 25-lap sprint car event. Rob?
Uh-oh. Skill testing question?
Is the winning line around the bottom of the racetrack for 25 laps, or are we going to see them move around?
You know, I think we're going to see some moving, but I think the last lap is going to be on the bottom. What do you think?
All right, you go straight to the last lap.
Well, I meant they're going to be slicing and dicing. The guy that's going to win is going to be able to run the outside but still get back to the bottom, and that's going to be the fast lane.
I think someone's going to dance the top. Someone's going to head up to the top 2 lanes further out than anyone else is running. I don't know that they're going to win the race doing it, but we're going to have someone to talk about.
Well, isn't that what makes this so exciting?
Absolutely. That's
not a one-lane track, buddy.
No, lots of room to operate.
I'd like to hope I was wrong. It's not the bottom, because I love watching them wing it on the top. You
know what? I remember a race at Merrittville Speedway years ago. It was one of Chad Brackman's first modified races, and probably one of Joe Plazik's last races. And Joe was sailing the high side of the racetrack in a typical line, doing a beautiful job. And as the race went on, the second half of the race, Brackman started picking away on the very bottom, running the guardrail, and slowing that car right down on the bottom and just tiptoeing off of turn number 4 while Plazik just on the outside. And he got him on the last lap. Brackman got to Plazik and made that pass. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the bottom is where everyone runs and someone goes to the high side or vice versa.
Right.
There's always a spot for someone who's willing to take the risk to go and find it.
Well, you know what? If you follow the leader at the bottom, you know what that means, right? You're never winning.
That's right. Clinton Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
White flag is out. I'm with you guys. Someone's going to have to go to the top. I mean, Turner's going to be strong on the bottom, and I don't think you're going to see Corey move off the rail until he needs to. But we'll watch how this one works out. Poirier trying to keep his Niagara record straight. I think this will be 5 in a row if the 28 can make it out of Quebec and take another feature win. Here we go. Adam, take us to the green.
Corey Turner on the inside in the 13. Travis Cunningham on the outside in the 90. Green flag is out.
Off to 1 and 2 they go. It'll be a gaggle on the outside. Here comes the 0-1 trying to make a move on the 90. Everybody gets single file back to the bottom.
And Cunningham missed the bottom of the track going down into turn 3. He's able to gather it in. Not a great opening lap for Ryan Turner in that Kingpin Farms number 91, but he's able to gather it back in. Corey Turner, though, with a great launch off the start.
What you're going to see, guys, is this track is going to change quite a bit, I think, here in this race. You're going to see it go from a lot of tack to being slick at the end of this one.
25 laps with the 23 sprint cars on it. I mean, that's going to use up a dirt track, and I mean that in the best possible way. You want it to get used up, and it's kind of a reset button because these drivers will have to find a groove. Jordan Poirier slowly closing in on Corey Turner, but not looking like the dominant car we've seen in weeks past, Clint.
No, definitely not. He looks human here tonight, and we got Corey Gruel slow into 1. He will get clear. We will stay under green, and it's still Corey Turner leading Jordan Poirier, Travis Cunningham, Rand, Krechka, then Porter and Evans.
Corey Turner about half a lap away from lap traffic. Kevin Paul's going to be the first car he encounters in that 46 machine. Gruel just barely rolling back towards the pits. Not sure if we're going to be able to stay green, or if not, I think it's going to draw yellow.
Yellow is out. We got one off. It is Corey Gruel, not clear in turn number 2.
And Corey Turner is probably the happiest driver in the facility. He had just caught the tail of the field and was going to have to commit to a different line when that yellow flag came out.
See, I will agree to disagree with there, Adam. I think he was all right until the 28 showed a nose. Now this is going to bring the 28 right on the back bumper. And as soon as they get past that cone, it's going to be open season.
Jordan Poirier is as aggressive as anybody that we have in this race. He's building the talent. It's fun to me when a race car driver has more aggression than they have talent. And I'm not knocking Jordan Poirier. He's just in that learning stage where Clinton, he's got the balls to do whatever he needs to do with that race car and put it where he needs it to go. He's just not always sure, and he said that at Merrittville after the race. He drove the line that his uncle Steve Poirier used to drive, and he was so proud of himself because he wasn't sure he could do it. That excites me.
For sure. We also want to welcome everybody watching in Quebec, courtesy of Dale Gosselin and Jordan Poirier. He got a lot of fans down there. We want to say hello and bonjour to everybody watching on GeForce TV in Quebec. I'll say hello to my dad watching Nova Scotia, so we got them watching all over the country here tonight.
That's the beauty of it, get people interested, keep people interested. Folks, if you're on GeForce tomorrow night, we'll be at Sauble Speedway, some great pavement racing. If you're in the neighborhood, come on down to Humberstone. You got 2 more nights of shows here, and it's going to be fantastic.
Lights go out on the pace truck. We're ready to go.
Corey.
Single file past the cone. It's Turner, Adam.
Yeah, Turner in the 13, Jordan Poirier in the 28, Travis Cunningham in the 90. That's your top 3 as they head back to the green flag.
Turner with a good clean start. He'll make it into 1. Poirier reels right up on the tail tank.
So Poirier right there, he couldn't stick a nose in. There was nowhere for him to go. He's right up on the tail tank, but Corey Turner still able to run that line, and boy, he hugged the guardrail nicely through 3 and 4.
Dan Nanakoke going to get dinged for 2 spots underneath the cone at the next flag, but he's back in the pack. Not a situation we need to follow right now. As look at Poirier, got that wing jacked right up, trying to chase after the 13.
Mikey Krushka with a great run out of turn 2 last time. Drove to the inside of Tyler Rand, but kind of ran out of racing room. See if he tries to set it up again. He backs away from the 84 machine. Not close enough this time, but out in front. It continues to be Corey Turner with Jordan Poirier and his tire tracks that we're halfway through.
Ryan Turner up the back door of the 01, and that's going to be a good battle coming up here shortly. 13 of Turner still holding the wheel out front of Poirier, who's 1.5 car lengths behind.
Yeah, Corey Turner not able to get away from Jordan Poirier, but he's doing a great job on the inside. I don't see an opportunity right now where Poirier can drive that car to the bottom. Turner's keeping all the holes shut.
Corey Turner looking good in that Petro Plus 13 machine. How about Travis Cunningham? What a great run for him in 3rd right now, that independent team. Lone soldier all by himself, getting it done here with his mom Rose helping him out.
His first charge into turn number 3 looked a little bit awkward. I thought, oh boy, Travis. But sure enough, after that, he's been driving a great race, keeping a big distance between himself and 4th place Tyler Rand. And we are back to slower traffic. Corey Turner heads to the outside to go around Kevin Pauls. Here comes Poirier.
And that was the gap that Poirier needed. Maybe the crack in the armor. Down to 1 as Poirier gets underneath Pauls, gets underneath Turner, and we have a new leader on turn 2.
I told it, it's a matter of testicular fortitude. And Jordan Poirier made Quebec proud.
Poirier leading now with Turner about a 5-car length lead. Rand starting to smoke in the 84 as he runs in 4th with Kretschka, Ryan Turner, and Dykstra right behind him. Evans was dominant in his heat. He finds himself back behind them.
There's a lot of racing still to go. Poirier is not having his way with Dan Nanakoke right now. He's been bottled up. Here comes Corey Turner closing that gap.
Turner still a little bit back. He's got Nanakoke to get around to make it work. And now Dykstra working on the inside of Ryan Turner as they get a bit dicey into turn number 3.
Travis Cunningham going around some slower traffic to the inside. Back to the front of the field, Jordan Poirier with a lap car between himself and Corey Turner as they work down the front straightaway.
Turner to the bottom, trying to hang tight with the Poirier 28, but Poirier just too good with 9 to go. Another caution may help Turner. He's got nobody between them right now.
He doesn't need a caution. DJ Christie, look at the line he's running. You are not going to get to the inside of that number 5. So Jordan Poirier has no choice. He's got to send it on the high side.
We'll watch and see what Poirier can do. And yeah, you're right, Adam. As he kicks dust right in the leader's ace, and Poirier's had enough. He will have to go to the outside this time by.
Not much there. He's thinking, oh, I didn't like that. I didn't think DJ Christie would leave that much room to the bottom, but he did. Poirier was there to pick up, but here comes Turner.
Yeah, I think once Christie realized the leader was there, he gave way. And now Dykstra still on the inside corner here of the 91 of Ryan Turner. And they get dicey racing as Dykstra will take the spot with 5 to go.
Wow, Poirier sailed that to the inside of Scott Burke down in 3 and 4. Or sorry, that was Chris Jones he drove to the inside of.
Working back here, it is Poirier, Turner, and Cunningham still holding third spot in the 90 very well. And doing a great job is Travis Cunningham.
Laps winding down here at Humberstone Speedway. Corey Turner's got a couple of cars between himself and the race leader, Jordan Poirier, but Poirier is bottled up behind Liam Martin as they race down into turn 3.
Working off of the backside comes Poirier right up the back bumper of Liam Martin's number 9.
Liam does a wheel stand off of 4. Can't get any bite through the turn, but he gets to the front stretch and stands it on his tail tank.
Now Krechka and Dykstra both go around Tyler Rand for 4th, and that's the battle right now, the 01 and the 5, splitting the 84.
2 laps to go in this one. That's the best battle on the racetrack. Watching Krechka and Jacob Dykstra duke it out.
Off of 4, they're working it. Poirier back to the stripe. White flag is out.
Corey Turner second, Travis Cunningham third. Those positions not under contest right now. Krechka under attack from Ryan Turner. Turner gets to the inside of the 01.
Trying to work their way around the Burke machine. And it's over. Poirier will get it done here tonight. Turner second. Cunningham will finish in third. Krechka goes around off of turn number 4, and the checkers are out.
Ryan Turner gets that spot. Then is Tyler Rand. Sean Evans hooping it. Tough finish for Mikey Krechka as he goes around there in a heated battle with Ryan Turner on the final lap. And that was a race for the 5th spot. What a race. And it was a race to the bottom, Rob. There wasn't a whole lot to it, but as we said, someone's going to have to get off the bottom. It was Corey Turner, and Jordan Poirier just flexed his muscle and made it happen.
Just so nice to see a runoff, no damage.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough running on a track that you've never been on yet, right? So
start a show at 7:30 with 4 full divisions. You're done by 11 o'clock. You can enjoy an adult beverage and some music down at the bandstand if that's your...
Oh, I thought it was ice cream too.
Well, there will probably be ice cream. Whew, that's the way to kick things off, folks. The Pinty's All-Canadian Weekend here at Humberstone Speedway. As you say, we didn't tow a lot of cars. I feel bad for Kyle Rothwell. There's some serious damage to that 114. But as he said, that's the nice thing about mini stocks is generally these drivers have been around long enough, have 2 or 3 cars that they can get spare parts off of, or if the wreck's bad enough, become the primary car and they pull all the parts off of their primary.
At least these cars are true cars that you can get off the shelf, right? Like at, any parts store.
Yep. Absolutely true. So Clinton Jeffrey down in victory lane. Dale Callan down there with the checkered flag, ready to present it to Jordan Poirier. Mikey Krechka getting to push the wrong way back to the pits, and we're going to see Jordan Poirier. If he makes weight at the scales, we'll see him get pushed the other way.
He's on his way out.
The helmet is off already. See, I appreciate that. I want to see a driver's facial expressions. I want to see the excitement in their eyes. Jordan Poirier's got the lid off as he's being pushed out to victory lane, where Clinton Jeffrey will greet him. And he will continue to practice his English. English is not natural to Jordan Poirier, but he does a great job. he tries, and that's all you can ask for, but he's getting better and better all the time.
That's why we brought Tony Spiteri. He's been taking French lessons on his lunch breaks down in Quebec. So here we go. Here comes Jordan Poirier. Ladies and gentlemen, watch yourself in the grandstands as he works his way down here into victory lane. The bands have already begun. The party has begun here at the All-Canadians. And the party has begun for Jordan Poirier, too. 2 for 2 on the Knights of Thunder, presented by Pinty's Tour. And he makes the long drive from Quebec worthwhile once more as Jordan Poirier pulls it into victory lane here at Humberstone once again. Did it last year. He gets it done again. Here he comes, Humberstone. How about a big victory lane welcome all the way from Quebec, Jordan Poirier. Tony, get in there and give him the big sword. He's already got 1. He's got 2 now. Tony, you going to say something in French?
Je suis très content par Jordan. Good trip today, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Where'd the trip?
Where'd the trip to my home, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, poutine tonight.
Get out of here, Tony. Thank you. Jordan, congrats, man. You got to be making Ontario your second home. You're loving it here. Dominant. I don't think you've lost a race here in the last 6 times you've come to Ontario. This class is running very well. We got a lot of competitors, but you're on top.
Yeah, we've been lucky tonight. Doesn't feel we had the best car in the feature. Corey was better before that yellow. After that yellow, he started to protect the inside a bit too much. So I was trying a bit the outside, but it wasn't clean enough. So when I got some lap car, I knew I was really good entering the middle, and I was just driving really, really good. So yeah, it's hard to ask for better. We have a really nice car, really nice sponsor with us this year, so it's pretty nice to bring them 2 times in a row in victory lane.
How's the track? Your first look at it, all the new improvements. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's insane. I've hit the guardrail pretty much like 25 times, maybe 50. So I'm lucky that it was a guardrail and not a concrete block like last year. But yeah, the track was really good. All the infrastructure, we can see that there's a lot of money injected, and I'm pretty proud to be the first 360 winner with the new ownership.
Congratulations, Jordan. Your English is coming along great. The more you win, buddy. Congrats. Jordan Poirier gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about it?
Well, Clinton, Jeffrey, we had a lot of fun here tonight. We thank everybody watching from home on GeForce TV. We thank the fans that made the trip out to Humberstone Speedway. I know they weren't impressed. On behalf of myself, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside, and Rob Luddingham up in the booth, thanks for watching on GeForce TV. We'll see you tomorrow night from Sauble Speedway online. And if you're not going to make it to Sauble Speedway, make sure you come to Humberstone Speedway and buy a ticket and enjoy the show, folks.